but a huge part of that offensive line if anything else goes wrong. Reggie Bush now checks in as a tailback in the USC I. He'll get his first handoff. A lot of speed, but he doesn't get to use it there. Brandon Chiller, the captain of the defense, a senior linebacker out of Carlsbad, made the stop.
Here's a look at Matua. That right guard coming in for Drake. He's a redshirt freshman, not a bad player. He's played some during the year, and this offensive line for the Trojans has 3 seniors. The three guys on the left side are all Rogers, Vandermeer, and Katnick are all seniors. And but it's a good offensive line.
Bush didn't get much, but he did get a first down, and they go right back to the air. Liner to Williams, and he's going to be close to another first down. Matt Ware and Spencer Havener made the tackle, but Big Mike, all 5 of them, is off to a good start here in the first quarter.
That opening drive, Liner threw 7 passes. 4 of them went to Williams, and he caught 2 of them. I like this kid Liner. He's tall. He's very bright. He gets rid of the ball. He's very accurate. Gets rid of the ball very quickly. He doesn't take a long. It's a quick release, and he gets it to where it's going very quickly.
The decisions are made in a hurry, and they're usually the right ones. Up the middle, and this is going to be a loss for Lindale White. Jared Page made the stop from the secondary. We'll get an Oklahoma Sooner update. Let's go to John in New York.
Brad, Oklahoma taking on Texas Tech, who has that high-powered offense, but there's been no better offense than this year. Jason White, plenty of time, 28 yards to Travis Wilson. Good catch in the end zone. 7-3 Sooners with the lead.
Jason White could have taken in a class back there before he threw that ball.
Ordered to spot a tee.
3rd and short. Liner to the air to Williams on the slant, and he's got a first down. Out to the 48. There were 3 guys around him. It didn't matter. He just went up and snatched it out of the air. Mike Williams, leading receiver. Matt Liner talked with us about what makes him so good.
And fast, and you know, he obviously makes my job easier. He gets open, and he just makes plays.
He's made quite a few already.
He's a big target, obviously, and
play action for Leinert. Might want it all. Going deep for Williams again. Got him all the way down to the 14-yard line.
Well, we just talked about him, and UCLA is not doing anything special. He runs right by the up guy. Now he runs the route off the second man, the safety. You just throw it to the inside. I mean, the front guy, the corner, needs to get a jam on him, slow him up, get him off of his route. You know, you just can't let him go right by you and run the route on the second guy. You got to send him somewhere else other than where he wants to go.
And Emmanuel is the guy that's down, trying to stay with that play, and he's injured in the secondary. And you see where his hand is, either his hip or his hamstring, and he's in a lot of pain. We'll take a timeout. 6:11 remaining in the first quarter. We'll try to check on Ben when we come back. 7-0 USC.
Hey, I'm Stan. I'm one of the guys making hockey here at the factory.
And there was a penalty.
I think it's going to be an unnecessary roughness against Oklahoma. It looked like. Maybe
that's
both.
the average time of one of their games because they throw the ball and there's so many incompletion. 3 hours and 37 minutes. So
dead ball. First foul against the offense. 15 yards. Second down.
I think it was Brandon Jones. Was it? Yes, Brandon Jones was the one. It was way away from the play. Throws him down, stands there, and then the shove late. That's the one. Referees would have let him go without that last shove right there.
And the officials send him.
We may have a
Basketball's back, and not a moment too soon. The NBA on ESPN Wednesday and Friday nights.
And that's why they call Lands Road, Lands Road. Which reminds me of a story that
ABC Sports, Saturdays, the home of college football.
And Dan Emanuel now being helped off. Matt Leinart off to a great start. Has 10 pass attempts. He's thrown 7 of them to Mike Williams and has 5 catches already. And he's mixing it up. He's not the only receiver he's using, especially on that opening drive, as Matt used 4 different guys when he went 5 for 7, including the touchdown to Williams. Now there goes a dent in the secondary. That's not going to help the cause for UCLA either.
He was a 3rd leading tackler.
There's another number 1. He was a pretty good wide receiver here too, but he's out of work. Well, not out of work completely. I guess he's a commentator now in the pregame shows tomorrow. That's Keyshawn Johnson, whose season is over with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Swanee's going to talk to Keyshawn a little bit later on. Meanwhile, back to the live action. It's USC driving down the field again with 6:11 remaining in the first quarter.
USC has come out this ball game, scored on their first drive, marching on their second drive like they've got something to prove, and they want to make sure that nobody takes that spot away from them.
Leinart throws across the middle. Oh, Castle got hammered, but he held on to the ball. He didn't hold on to the ball. I take it back, and there's a penalty marker down too.
Bob and Brad, John Drake, number 73, they're taking him off the field. They'll take him into the locker room, and he'll get an x-ray on his right ankle. And then they'll evaluate it from there, but obvious pain, not wanting to put any weight on it at 350 pounds.
Yeah, all right, Swanee, thank you. It's a holding call against UCLA, and that's half the distance in a first down. So the throw was intended for Matt Castle, the tight end, a former quarterback in his own right, and Leinart put it right there, and his receiver took a big shot, but it didn't matter anyway. They get a free first down. Probably trying to hold on to Mike Williams. Yeah, that's a hold. And that was Matt Ware. They're trying a little bit of everything, but number 1 is coming out on top so far. So it's 1st and goal. They had a dual backfield, and now Reggie Bush goes out as a wide receiver to the top of your screen. The toss to Dennis. Herschel Dennis inside the 5. He's close, but he's not in. Havener saved a touchdown, but he's down to the 1-yard line. So they haven't had to do much on the ground, but Herschel takes it down to the 1.
The Trojans have, you know, they said, oh, how do we want to do this? We want to throw or we want to run? We can do whatever we want to do. Take a look at this good little toss around the right side. 74 is Justice and gets out there. That's a nice turn up by Dennis. He gets outside and then he sees the end zone, just tries to make it in there.
Lendale White's got 11 rushing touchdowns. He's their bruiser. It's 2nd and goal. He's got his 12th touchdown. Trojans. And the freshman in the end zone from a yard out. It's 13-0. Well, this is just clockwork so far for USC. 2 80-plus yard drives. That ain't bad. Extra point is up and good by Ryan Killeen. And a penalty marker down on the extra point. Here's another look at Lendale White, the big fella.
Well, there's 3 running backs, and he is the biggest of the 3. So inside the 5-yard line, he gets the call.
Penalties refused. The extra point is good.
So the opening quarter so far belongs to the Trojans of USC. 1 through the air, 1 on the ground. 14-0 USC.
Now on ESPN.
2nd and 10. BJ back in the shotgun.
Ball, and I hope he could see it better than I could on that replay.
Jesse Daniels has come on as the 6th back. That's the end of 1 from Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. 7-3 will return after this message and this word from your local station.
Job by the officials keeping the flag in the pocket. And of course, the Wolfpack will wave off the holding call.
That'll set up the punt situation.
The outside receiver late. Did he bring it in?
Oh, that's a bad call.
No, never got his right foot down. Not at all, did he?
No, that's a bad call. Oh, I don't blame Mike on that.
That was
I mean,
that was a simple call.
The head
really?
linesman was looking right at it, and well, it can happen. 3rd down and 2 now. Stoops leads it 14-3, and B.J. Simmons brings him on up to the line of scrimmage.
I would say that Texas Tech probably in 4th down territory here. They're not going to punt.
As that end around looking Mack coming back very close.
.5:13 remaining first quarter. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, our ABC crew here at the Coliseum, and it's all Trojans so far. 14-0. A couple of 80+ yard drives by USC. Tyler Ebell about 2 yards deep in the end zone will bring it out for the Bruins, and he's got a little crease. Flag down. Kicker missed him. Trying to track him down, they do. I'm sure it's coming back, but a good-looking return all the way to the USC 43-yard line. It would be a 58-yard kick return, but I think it's going to be negated by the hanky on the field.
Talk about good looking. That back judge threw that hanky about 50 yards.
Holding during the return. 10-yard penalty on the spot of the foul. 1st down.
It's too bad for Tyler. That was a good-looking kick return. So instead of way down at the 43 of USC, it's going to be back inside their own 25 for the Bruins.
I think it's right here. Watch the Bruin, the white shirt. Hold him, hold him, hold him. You see him throw it right there. Now there'll be another flag coming in, but we're not going to see it on this shot. But that's a good call by the official. The return would have never been that long had he not held the Trojan.
I may have said inside the 25 of the penalty, inside the 15 is what I meant to say. We're down to the 13 now, so you're talking about a loss of about 45 yards on that penalty in what could have been. Olsen, quick slant, overthrew Greg Bragg. A little bit behind him. And it brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, the Bruins offensively have not gotten it done this year. When Carl Durrell came in, he brought in the West Coast offense. And not only was it new for the players, new terminology, but also the coaching staff. So Carl's got to teach it to the staff and to the players, all new terminology. And in all fairness, you're not going to get this done in 1 year.
No way.
But he stayed with it, and he's building a foundation.
2nd down at 10. Olsen nailed way back at the 3. Mike Patterson came through there like a shot. Patterson's 7th sack of the year.
There he is right here. He's just going to run between the 2 linemen. Now that's a blown assignment by the left guard.
F. Sayef was looking for something else and just let him go, almost.
Boys, I don't ever recall freight trains being allowed to run through the Coliseum, but maybe I am mistaken.
Boy, that was one. Here's a handoff to Ebell. Or rather, Maurice Drew, and the freshman tailback goes out to the 18, pickup of 13. But that just gave him enough room to punt.
Yeah, this game has gone pretty much the way the book would have it. USC strong on offense and defense, and the Bruins struggling on offense have punted the first 2 times they've gotten it.
Chris Kluwe will have to punt again. He's inside his own 5. Will Poole back deep for USC. Should get great field position. Boy, got a nice kick. Poole waits on it and mishandles it, but he got it on the bounce. It'll cost him some yardage, but they didn't give up the football. Almost fumbled that one, but he stayed with it. Here's today's singular wireless poll question. Of today's rivalries, which game is best? Michigan, Ohio State, Auburn, Alabama, Harvard, Yale, this one, or Cal and Stanford?
Got some pretty good choices up there.
To vote, log on to ESPN.com, search ABC Sports, or wireless users text vote to 222. And we'll have the answer to the poll in the second half.
I don't see Indiana Purdue up there, boy.
First down at the 29. Play action for Leinart. Matt's got time, throws short, comes back to his safety valve. That's Wendell White. And a penalty marker down. 2 penalty markers down in very different parts of the field. One was at the end of the play, and one came flying in from the secondary.
Well, Brad, from where I was staying on the field, I think they would call this a face mask against UCLA. The second flag might have just been support.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You call it, Swanee. That's it. That's a second face mask already in the first quarter. Flagged against UCLA. There's Lindale, and there goes the helmet. The opposite direction is Havener.
That's just being out of position to make the tackle, and then that's just an excuse to try and make the play. You just can't do it. You're going to hurt your team even further with a 15-yard penalty.
Havener, one of the top players as far as making big plays. 3 interceptions, a couple of block kicks this year, but he cost his team on that one. And it's great field position again. 4 wide outs for USC. They work from their own 46-yard line. And here's Wendell White looking for some room. Got a couple. That's about it. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. There is Dave Ball, one of the captains defensively. He's leading the country in sacks coming into this one with 15.5.
And he's going against one of the best offensive tackles in the country, and Jacob Rogers. That'd be a good battle all day.
Rogers hasn't given up a sack in the last 23 and change. Herschel Dennison, a little swing pass. They got a lot of weapons on this USC team. They can change up bodies once in a while. At least defensive coordinators think they can get a tendency because of which back is in there. We already talked about Lindale's kind of the bruiser. Dennis and Bush can do a little bit of everything. Bush has the most speed.
Well, not only do you have good personnel at every position, but then you have an offensive mind sitting up in the press box willing to pull all those, push all those buttons.
3rd down at 4. Let's see which button they push right here. In UCLA territory again. Leinart trying to get it to Mike Williams. Williams turning around looking for a flag, and there it comes.
Well, there's a couple of them.
And there comes a second one. They were late arriving, but they got there. And Larry Farina will tell us whether or not it was offensive or defensive pass interference. We expect one of those to be the call, and they're talking it over with UCLA.
Yeah. And Dave Ball's looking over to the sideline, says, Coach, what do you want me to do?
Yeah. And if that guy next to him in the 49 looks like him, that's his twin brother,
offense. Matt. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
Take a look down here. And he just pushes it.
Oh, that's a mugging there.
Yeah, you know, part of the education of these wide receivers and all the players on the field should be when you're out there, which officials are looking at you. I mean, there's 2 guys that are doing nothing but looking at that wide receiver and corner. So if you go out there and do that, I mean, you're going to get a flag right away anyway.
Yep.
The offensive lineman and the defensive lineman, the umpire standing right behind him, is doing nothing but looking at you.
And Mike Williams, Bob, has to resist the desire to just manhandle that smaller defensive back. He's just going to dig a hole for him.
It's like a net. Just swat him away.
3rd and 19. They go the other way, and he swats that one out of bounds with a first down. Well, he got his penalty back and then some.
UCLA is not doing anything different. Just try and stop this. Single coverage on the outside. Ware is looking into the secondary, looking into the quarterback. Just man-on-man single coverage. He had him deep, but he didn't have him short.
Needed 19, got 19 and 2 feet, and over 100 yards receiving in the first quarter. Remember, he had a 3-touchdown quarter against Stanford this year. Had 3 touchdowns last week. He might be on his way to that. Leinart slips down as Reggie Bush goes down as well for a loss on the play.
That's the guy, Mike Williams, that was not interested in going to any schools in Florida. He's from Tampa, Florida. He came all the way out to USC because they said you can play wide receiver. All the schools in Florida want him as a tight end.
1,200+ day of his career and his 7th this season, and the way he's playing, it might be a 300-yard day before it's over, if they choose to go to him that often, because every time they have, for the most part, he's produced. Quick snap. Matt Leinart back to throw, has time, steps up in the pocket, finds Williams again. Down to the 25. Like I said, it might be a real big game before it's over. 20 more yards.
Well, he doesn't catch that unless he's 6'5".
That's true.
I mean, and he really had to jump from behind the quarterback. Go ahead and let's take a look at it. So it sets up. There's one guy going deep, and he just throws this ball. He's got to throw it over these linebackers, and there he has to just jump to catch the football. That is huge. You just throw it over everybody.
Here comes a blitz on Leinart. Sets and fires. Got him again. Inside the 10. It's 1st and goal. Matt Leinart's just throwing darts right now, and this guy's the board.
Well, this is when it's fun. This is when you're smiling, because UCLA is not doing anything to take him away. They don't have anybody can stop him. There's a linebacker, number 11.
Chiller.
Trying to jam him. What they need to do is jam him at the line of scrimmage. He's 230 pounds. Somebody can jam him and reroute him. Don't let him do what he wants to do, get off the line of scrimmage.
Pretty soon they're going to have to put one of the Ball twins out there to jam him, because nobody else is touching him. It's 1st and goal. Herschel Dennis hit at the tailback. He'll get the toss. Student body left. He'll get it down inside the 5 to about the 4. Havener, the linebacker, made the stop. Might be the final play of what has been a dominating first quarter for USC, led by that guy. Just this drive alone, those are game numbers for some guys. 58 yards, 3 catches. He has one of USC's first quarter touchdowns, and the fans who've...
Look at him. He's going to the offensive line. Said, good job,
Good
guys.
job, fellas. You're giving Matt time to throw, and I'm throwing everything he's throwing at me. That's the end of the first quarter, 14-0. Our first quarter score, the Trojans out in front. Our presentation of college football continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
Now on ESPN Classic, the award-winning sports century, the most compelling stories in
So the Sooners working against the wind, still put a couple of 7s up there on the board. And now they come out as we open the second quarter. 140 yards of offense to Texas Tech's 65 in the opening quarter. Gary, as we watch Oklahoma, the question comes to my mind, and we hear that USC's up a couple touchdowns, but what
this ball game? An explosive LSU offense came in here on a roll, and Ole Miss has taken the game right to him.
Now Donnie Jones, and this time the return is on all the way for Ole Miss. SB will let it
put the hit on. They're running some quick plays with lots of motion involved in it. JoJo Walker's been in and out of the lineup as an extra receiver, more in than out.
Yeah, they are using a lot of motion, Gary, and Ralph Regin, along with Charlie Taft, the great offensive coordinator for Maryland. You know, they wanted to stay committed to a run game, even with 8-9 man defensive fronts. Part of that package against the numbers is to use motion.
Smith and Allen in the backfield, short yardage. It's a 3rd down and 1. Big 3rd down play to keep it going. Going to go long, looking to the left side. McBrien got it out there, and
but I'm from Wisconsin, and I used to play hockey. So I take that as a compliment.
Watch Jerry Kelly in the PGA Tour's best this season on ABC.
Starting the second quarter, second down and goal, USC just inside the UCLA 5-yard line. Leinart to throw again to the end zone, touchdown, and it's Mike Williams. Who else? Matt Leinart has hit 9 straight passes, and he just keeps finding number 1. Touchdown, USC.
Bad news for their opponents in years to come. Leinart and Williams are only sophomores.
Wow, what a half for those two. Extra point is up and good. Matt Leinart is 13 of 15 right now. Here's his last one.
He's going to fake like he's going out and then goes straight up the middle. That's just, you know, that's Norm Chow right there. That's good planning and scheming. And this is good pass protection by the offensive line and a good release and a good spot.
Well, Mike Williams, I tell you what, it looks like a video game for him out there.
Well, we told you he was big.
Really big. Got planes flying around him.
He's got good hands, good hand-eye coordination.
And he knows how to win.
Oh, boy.
He's winning this battle today, I'll tell you that much. Wow, what a start.
As we mentioned, Miami, I don't think even recruited him. Florida wanted him to be a tight end.
Well, their scoring drive so far, Bob, 81, 80, and now 71. And you know, coming in today, 75% of their scoring drives were 3 minutes or less.
Yeah. Pete didn't have any trouble getting the guys up for this one, did he?
I guess not. Delayed the kick. Going to be taken at the 3 by Tyler Ebell, who had a nice return last time. He gets whacked this time before he got to the 20. Boy, you could hear that one way up here. Well, Monday night, get ready for some Monday Night Football action. It'll be a family affair, too, because Tiki and Rondé Barber get together. They'll square off. Both teams trying to salvage their season a little bit. Giants and the Bucks Monday night with Al and John, live at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC.
I remember when the Barber brothers were playing at Michigan, at Virginia,
yep.
And now they're back. One's on offense, one's on defense, and going to be tackling each other.
And we've got a couple of sets of twins in this game. The Ting brothers for USC, the Ball brothers for UCLA. Right now it's the Bruise brothers for UCLA because USC's not giving them anything on defense, and they're tearing them up on offense so far. Maurice Drew, good-looking freshman back. Kind of a bowling ball at 5'8", a couple 100 pounds. Traveler's going to have sore knees by the time this one's over today. Going to have fetlock problems by the time it's over if he keeps running up down the sideline.
Remember what Ara Parsegian said back when Notre Dame was playing one day that USC was probably running over Notre Dame just like they are USC, the Trojan and the Bruins here at the start. He says, that horse, he says, I hate that horse. He says, he's going to die of exhaustion.
Here's a nice play, the open field by Maurice Drew. That's the best play of the day for the Bruins. Picked up 28 yards. Jason Leach made the tackle. And so finally UCLA gets something going on offense.
Steve Axman, the offensive coordinator, setting up a little screen pass. Back's going to slide out to the left. The offensive lineman gets out there, makes a nice block right there. That was safe.
Heck of a block and a one-handed catch by Drew, or they never would have gotten that thing off the drawing board. Ebell back in. Olsen rolls to throw on first down and completes it. Joe Cohen out there makes the grab. not much gained. Picked up about 3.
There's a look at the offensive coordinator, Steve Axman. It's going to take some time. And you know, to build this foundation offensively and defensively for the Bruins. You come in with a new staff, a new coach. You got all new players you got to work with. You got to find out what their strengths and weaknesses are. Terminology, they got to learn new terminology. It's you know, it's not easy. It's especially when you using a whole new offensive scheme.
At the 49, second man through. Tyler Ebal. Ebal got across midfield. That's about it. Let's check in with Lynn.
Thank you, Brad. I'm with Keyshawn, and obviously Keyshawn, that number 1 is out of respect for the newest, greatest wide receiver at USC, Mike Williams.
He's passed both me and you up in our careers.
Well, no, he hasn't passed me up. He hasn't catch 14, but he's well on his way.
Well, you know, right now he looks pretty good. You know, he's leading his team hopefully to a national championship. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with in the NC2A, and I just can't wait to see him get to the National Football League.
You were a big receiver in college. You look at him, he's bigger than you.
Way bigger.
Okay. Tell me what he has to learn, what he has to do with that size, because he's done some great things out here, but sometimes it seems maybe he tries to use that too much.
Well, I think, you know, one of the things that he's going to have to do is move away from the dinner table. He's a little thicker than what you probably would like in a receiver like that. He seems to have pretty good hands in me. You know, I like his feet. He can get in and out of his breaks, and I think that's the important part, but you got to be able to see if he can run just a little bit.
And the system in which he's playing?
Same system,
does a great job.
Same system, similar to what we were doing in Tampa, and he's, you know, he's been able to utilize the guy and get the ball to him. Whenever you do that, he's always going to be okay.
All right, now, are you looking forward to your next career in this season?
Yeah, I am. TV. I'm looking forward to it. I got an opportunity to work with a bunch of guys over at Fox that I consider the best team in football, with Terry, Howie, JB, and Jimmy there. So I'll be there tomorrow morning, and it'll be fun for me.
All right, Keyshawn, thank you very much. I'm just going to tell the folks at home, I talked to Keyshawn about the deactivation, about going to work at the studio, and he said it's a subject he didn't really want to talk about in terms of campus. Explain that to me, but he said he's looking forward to moving on, doing a good job in the broadcast booth, and looking forward to playing football next season.
All right, Keyshawn, get some sleep tonight. There's a production meeting tomorrow morning with the guys. You got to realize that. 12:24 remaining. Only a 7-yard shank punt by Kluwe. USC's got a big lead in the ball when we come back.
They've been called a dream team.
You look like the son of Ringo Starr and Phyllis Dillon.
A gas to watch.
You never did any shoplifting in your life? I'd be surprised next year if he did play.
It's easier for Mike Tyson to find a place to fight than it is for Trent Dilfer to find a place to play football.
This is the best show on television. Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon.
Sports and other stuff.
Pardon the interruption. 5:30 Eastern weekdays on ESPN.
PTI.
Go to the Gator Bowl. If NC State comes away with a win, it really opens things up.
Yeah, and
it's out to the 19-yard line. Now let's go back to New York for this Pontiac High Performance Update. Once again, here's Tim.
Fellas, you know Matt Leinert's numbers are actually better than that of Carson Palmer, the Heisman Trophy winner of a year ago. Here, 4 yards to Mike Williams, who already today has 9 catches, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. They're up by 3 touchdowns on UCLA.
ESPN Full Court. ESPN
World premieres.
Barry was a walking highlight.
Why didn't you want to break that record? I don't know.
Brand new shows.
Only in America could a Don King happen.
The award-winning.
I got excited. Yes, sir. Because he told me not to.
Sports Century, 8 p.m. weeknights, only on ESPN Classic.
How's the offensive line coming?
Well, it's going to take some time. Oh, I'm up.
It's only the only issue.
Had a lot of guys graduate, right? So they got holes to fill, and this is the SEC. I mean, everybody's got talent. You know, it's just...
When College Game Day's on campus, you got to step it up.
Anyway, I think the SEC...
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, 10:30 Saturday mornings on ESPN.
USC fans happy. They've got the sugar out. They've got a ways to go. They've got almost 3 more quarters here and 4 more against Oregon State in 2 weeks. But the way they're playing right now is pretty sweet. I'll say that much for them. And Mike Williams has been the big part of it.
They talked about Mike Williams being a little bit thick. If he doesn't push himself away from the table, they'll just move him to tight end.
Yep. Leinart down the middle. Well, he pushes himself right through the secondary. Inside the 30, down to the 28. There goes 30 more yards. I said he might have 300 for the game. He might have 300 by halftime. He's got 173 yards receiving. We just are early in the second quarter.
It's zone. He's running by everybody. Nobody. London, number 9, is the middle linebacker. That's a 2-deep zone, and London is running from the middle linebacker spot to the deep middle. This is pitch and catch. He's 14 of 16.
10 straight completions.
And 12 of them have gone at Williams, and he's caught like 10 of them.
Here's a trap play. Reggie Bush. He gets down to the 20.
We were talking yesterday with Norm Chow, and Norm was, we always ask him about his offense, and then we ask him about the opposing defense, and he told us a little bit about it. And the bottom line, he says, is bottom line is you just got to do what you do.
Yep.
We got to run our offense.
Make them stop us.
Exactly. So we going out there and we're going to do what we do best, and we're going to spread the field. We're going to throw the ball down the field. And UCLA has not even come close to stopping them.
I just don't understand why more people don't use that approach instead of worrying so much about what the defense is showing you.
Talent.
Well, that's true. They got the talent to pull that off. I guess that might be the difference.
They've got the talent, and they've got 2 guys on the coaching staff that are better than most. They've got a defensive coordinator named Pete Carroll,
who's the head coach as well,
and they've got an offensive coordinator named Norm Chow. And those 2 guys alone run the offense and the defense, and they are probably better than 99% of the offensive and defensive systems in the country.
So Matt Leinart did 10 in a row, finally an incompletion, and it forces a rare 3rd down, 3rd and 3. Just a 2 tight end set, both split out here to the left side as it looked like Matt's changing things up. And back to throw, and lofts one through the hands of Kerry Colbert again. Certainly catchable. When you consider Williams dropped one in the end zone, Colbert just dropped that one, and both of them maybe a little bit off, but appeared to at least been touched. Matt Leinart could be almost perfect.
Leinart didn't throw a pass last year. He is a redshirt sophomore who was a 3rd-string quarterback last year, got into about 3 or 4 games, never threw a pass, didn't know that he was going to be the starting guy this year until he fought through 3 or 4 other guys and won the job.
Ryan Killeen will try a 38-yard field goal as finally USC's offense stalls a little bit, and he just got it. So they tack on 3 more. I don't know if that's a moral victory of sorts for the UCLA defense, but finally they don't give up a touchdown. And that was awfully close, high up on the right upright. We'll take a look at it again from 38 yards away. Whew, that was close.
This deck in the second quarter with more rushing yards than passing yards, and showing the end around, but there is a whistle.
Single season. Which Trojan holds the single season reception record? All right, well, we'll get you that answer a little bit later on. Swanee, of course, made famous with the Steelers with number 88, but a lot of people don't realize he's number 22 here. And it's a good look. He's got the hair a little more than he has now. Swanee, enjoyed your story about 22. I asked you how come you didn't wear that when you got to the Steelers.
Well, it was kind of interesting, and that was a good haircut back in the day. When I came to the Steelers, I was 22 in the preseason, but they had just passed a rule in the National Football League that said you had to have a number according to position, as we watched the kickoff and UCLA trying to return it to get some good field position. But what happened was I had to switch to an 80 series number. And so after the last preseason game, I took off my 22 jersey. I gave it to the equipment manager, Tony Parisi, and he said to me, Swanee, what number do you want? I said, I don't care. Just give me a number. I tossed it to him. First game against the Baltimore Colts at Three River Stadium in 1974, hanging in my locker was number 88. I asked Tony why number 88. He said, well, You had double digits in 22. I said, you're a first-round pick for the Steelers. We're hoping you're going to be 4 times better than you were in college.
I like that, Tony.
So, first pass against the coach was a touchdown, so we're off to a good start.
That's a great story. And another one, I'll just add it, not make Swanee have to add it, but John Stallworth's number in college was 22 as well.
Really?
So they both had to switch gears a little bit.
And he switched to 82, and when you think about great receivers, 82 comes to mind in John Stallworth.
That's for sure. Whether he was 4 times better, I don't know, but he had 4 pieces of jewelry with that team, so that's pretty good. Boy, what a hit put on Tyler Ebell as he got through the hole for about 5 yards and then almost had his upper torso taken off.
That was Udeze.
Kenichi is some kind of player. Rangy. Boy, what an engaging kid he is.
94 over here on the left side. Make sure the quarterback doesn't keep it right there. All right. Now I'm going to go down.
Stay with it.
Get a piece of this.
Right there.
Right
Boom.
There. Whoa.
That hurts.
What he worried what?
350.
350 at one of the camps. High school.
Another big hit. I tell you what, we're talking about him and he's making hits.
That's back to back.
Kenichi Udeze. What a great kid. We spent a lot of time with him yesterday. And he says, you know, I'd come to the camps. He said, I was this little short, fat kid, and I'd come to the Trojan football camps. And every year I got just a little bit taller, but he weighed 350. They finally said, there's a scholarship waiting for you if you can get yourself in shape. He now has 7% body fat, and he weighs 280 pounds. That short, fat kid is now a big kid, and he's a player. A really good player.
He's just a junior. He'll be back next year.
3rd down and 8. Olsen in trouble. Steps up, he's going to tuck it in, get what he can, and it isn't much. Only got about a yard. It's 4th down, and UCLA will have to give it up again. So we work our way down to 9.5 minutes remaining in the half. A half dominated by the Trojans in the 73rd matchup. The last punt by Kluwe only went 7 yards as he shanked it off the side of his foot, and he needs more than that here. Carlson's a guy back deep waiting on it. See if they try to put pressure on it. And he does get a nice kick, at least better. Fieldable though, and Carlson takes it at the 49. Goes down to about the 42-yard line. So great field position for USC, as if they need it right now. With 9:03 remaining in the half, they lead 24-0.
Guys, need a little more stuff from you. Come on. Need a little more, a little action. Guys. Touchdown Irish.
ABC Sports.
Team by Blanchard and Anderson.
See, that time the backside rusher, the
afraid of the water.
DJ needs 11 to break the record. Got it. There's the record inside the 15-yard line. B.J. Simmons to Nehemiah Glover, the all-time single-season passing yard.
Wally here's from Finland. Sergei's Russian. That's Kembo. We're not sure where he's from. The point is even though we're all from different cultures, we all speak hockey and English, mostly.
The NHL on ESPN. Made in America, delivered on Thursdays.
Well, he's wearing number 3. That's where they were in the BCS standings when the day started. Now he's holding up 2 fingers. That's where they're going to be next week after Michigan beat Ohio State today, if they continue to do what they're doing right now. And that is putting it on UCLA, their crosstown rivals. 24-0. USC with a lead. 9 minutes and change remaining in the second quarter. Good field position at the 42. Quick pass complete to Kerry Colbert. First time Kerry has gotten his hands on one and held on to it. And you know, we talk so much about Mike Williams. This guy's a heck of a receiver.
He really is. He's caught over 50 passes the last couple of years. In fact, he's probably a more complete receiver.
Uh-oh, Big Jake is hurt and angry about it as he just ripped his headgear off. He's the guy that has the job of trying to slow down Dave Ball or Matt Ball, depending on which side they play. And the senior out of Oxnard, who hasn't given up a sack in the last 24 games. Big 305-pounder. Another good one in the long line of left tackles at USC over decades, really.
You see that he's not happy about that.
No.
He's an offensive lineman that has a mean streak in him. And that's good to have. That's Torres, number 66, is taking his place.
Second and short. Dennis on a stretch play, and Herschel gets knocked down before he gets to the line of scrimmage. Going to bring up a third down. Haven't been a lot of third downs. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. It's Mike Williams and Mike Williams and Mike Williams. That time over Matt Clark, just climbed up over him. This time put a nice move on Matt Ware, the other corner, and scored part of a, what's he got, 173 yards receiving, 174 receiving on 10 catches.
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
For a quarter and a half.
Third down and short. Leinart wants to throw for it. Pump fakes. Now goes to Williams. Tipped away at the last moment. Keith Short got a hand on it. He had him open. Would have been another touchdown.
Well designed play and well executed by the quarterback. Leinart comes back and he's going to fake to away from him all along, knowing that he wants to go down the seam. He's trying to hold the safety away, and the corner gets back and just knocks it away. That's Short, number 3.
Good play. And now at fourth down, USC going for it here. Fourth down, a long one. There's their season numbers. They're pretty good at it. And penalty markers blow this one dead. That's a spot where a field goal is about a mile away, about 50 yards.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Well, now they're going to probably have to throw for it if they decide to go on fourth down, or if they change their mind. Looks like the offense is staying out there. So Pete Carroll says, okay, we were going to go on fourth. Let's go on fourth.
Well, you know, their defense is pretty darn good, and UCLA hasn't done anything. They've had the ball 4 times, and they've had the punt all 4 times. So why not go for it?
They need to get down inside the 32-yard line. You see where they set up.
Now we can't take it.
Leinart to throw. Over the middle, got there the tight end. He isn't going to get there. UCLA does a nice job to bring him down. Justin London, the middle linebacker, makes the stop, and the Bruins will take over on offense. Oh, there's a penalty marker I did not see at the line of scrimmage.
Offside, defense.
Oh, boy.
5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Go right back to fourth down again, and I guess they can use what they were planning on using the first time.
Those are the little mistakes that crop up. I mean, that's like a turnover. You gave the ball back. I mean, you were going to get the ball. The Bruins stopped them. They were going to get possession of the ball. Now you give it back to them with another chance to make a first down or score a touchdown.
Pete Carroll, the energetic head coach of the Trojans. Boy, this team has taken to him like a duck to water. And here on fourth down, Leinart again will throw for it. And he lofts. He's got a man wide open. Reggie Bush down the sideline out of the backfield. Boy, nobody got over there. They're lucky they got back on that lofted pass, or it could have been worse because he's got unbelievable speed.
Well, everybody's paying all the attention to these 3 guys lined up tight here, but outside here, here's Bush. He's just going to go straight down the sideline. He fakes to the, no, it's he swings out of the backfield, excuse me. Yeah, that's well designed because the cornerback comes in with the guy lined up on the outside, and Bush swung from the outside. I thought he lined up at wide receiver.
He does that at times. And now it's first and goal again. At the 6. Leinart again. End zone, not quite. Yes, he did get in. No, he didn't. Reggie got to about the 1-foot line. You could see the end zone coming, but he didn't quite get there. Chiller put a hit on it.
I'm very impressed. Very impressed with USC offensively and defensively. They do everything well. Mack's going to circle out to our right side, give him the ball quickly, let him get, ruled his knee was down before he went in, but defensively and offensively, USC has got everything it takes.
Thought he had it, not quite. Look at the numbers for USC. 300 total yards already. We still have 7.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, they haven't come close to slowing them down.
We're going to hear what Larry Farina has to say about the conversation.
The runner was ruled down prior to crossing the goal line.
Well, that's what we assumed. So I guess they were talking over among themselves whether or not he was in the end zone.
Watch his knee. Watch his knee. Is the ball over?
His elbow's already down.
There's the
ball's behind the line.
The ball is behind the line, so it was a good call.
So they've got it down, 2nd down and goal, and you know how close it is. Reggie Bush stays in there. He's the guy that's gotten them down close. He's the single setback. And he's the man. Airborne, fumble, and UCLA's got it. Coming out of the pile, Jared Page.
Fumbled again, didn't he?
And Chiller's the guy that made the big hit. Got fumbled again, and Ware picked it up. Crazy play. Well, the freshman thought he'd go airborne, but the linebacker for UCLA had a different idea.
Yeah, I've seen some tape where he's gone airborne before, and he's gotten into trouble. He's a true freshman. Look at the way he held out his hand and the ball out there. That stuff may have worked in high school, but even against the team that you're dominating and have scored 24 points against, this defense is not going to let you do that.
He took a hit, and now UCLA's got it back. Let's see if they can do something with a turnover. Only about a yard for Maurice Drew. Dallas Sartz made the tackle. Our aerial coverage today courtesy of Goodyear and its fleet of airships, which reminds you to take all of life's journeys on the wings of Goodyear. Captain John Creighton and the gang up there. Captain, good to have you with us. Beautiful day to fly. Beautiful day for a football game. UCLA fans probably not thinking that right now, because while the skies are blue and there's a lot of blue and gold over there, at least in the left end zone as we view it, it's the guys in the other jerseys that are having a big day, and the ball is loose again. Fumble in the end zone. USC still trying to cover it. They will. Kenichi's got it. Touchdown. Kenichi Odeze's the last guy in the line. Trojans score again. He winked at me yesterday and said, maybe I'll get 3 sacks for you. I said, we'll do something special. He just did. Ronald Nunn's the guy that came in that put the hat and the hit on Olsen. The ball came out, and after a scramble by both teams, Udeze with a touchdown. Blocked extra point. Still alive. UCLA might get something out of this. Going the other way, Matt Clark's got a chance for 2. Down the sideline he goes. I don't think they're going to get him. It's going to be a 2-pointer for UCLA. What a crazy minute of football that was.
Just a couple of minutes ago, USC was about to score. The pass was in the end zone, or was it not? And then it turned it around.
Blocked extra point and going about 90-some yards the other way was Matt Clark. So it looked like it was going to be 31-0. This was the play where the Trojans scored. 2 points later the other way, it's 30-2.
They're saying just what I've been saying for years. High school ball is just unprepared for the NBA. That's
open to you. They need to use this time, and they would love nothing more than to put one more score on the board here before halftime.
Well, we saw a 45-yard field goal from Chris Jackson, but field goal kicking not acknowledged as one of the strengths of this bunch. Mock and Manning in the comparison so far. Mock has had 2 picked off. Goes right, finds Clayton again.
Good defense. Good defense. That play took a long time. It took 7 seconds.
Products you buy better. BASF.
A little mayhem.
Oh my God!
In the AM.
Are you hot wings or are you cold pizza?
You don't get this at any other morning show. Wake up to Cold Pizza, the morning show with everything. Weekday mornings at 7 on ESPN2.
Coming this December to.
How you doing? Good. We still on for lunch? Yeah. What do you say? Meet me in the lobby at 12:30? Perfect. Done. See you there. Bye, man.
Back at the Coliseum with Bob Greasy and Lynn Swann, Brad Nessler. We just saw a wacky minute of football there. And when all the smoke cleared, it's 30-2 USC. Ryan Killeen's kick goes down to the 2 to Eva. Tyler bringing it the other way. Across the 25 out to about the 28-yard line. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chrysler, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there. Only in a Jeep 4x4. Pacific Life, offering insurance, annuities, and investments. And Lay's and Pepsi. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you watch the game. Lynn Swann, honored over in the Heritage Building. Swanny's got his picture up there with all the great receivers.
He's over there.
He's over there. He's over there in a lot of areas. Painted on a wall. He's all over the place. Olsen back to throw. Feeling some pressure. Hit from behind. Got rid of it, though. Throw it into double coverage. Incomplete. Intended for Junior Taylor.
Wasn't that unusual for just what we just saw, the plays and all those other plays, but to see UCLA score and then get the ball and they get the USC at the kickoff to it. How often do you see a team score and then they get the other team to kick off?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Here's the block. Boschetti is the guy that got the kick.
Right in the middle, 75.
And then does a nice job to.
Guy.
It happened actually to USC a year ago. Terrence Newman, who was the #1 draft choice in the NFL, the cornerback for Kansas State, did it. Big hit put on by Darnell Bing. Bing wearing a familiar number. That one was Mike Garrett's jersey. And Mike, the athletic director, said it was pretty cool with him if Darnell could wear that jersey because, as you can see, it's up there in the end zone along with 4 others.
I mean, all I had to do was win a Heisman Trophy, and
that's it, man.
And 22 would have been up there. I got to talk to John Cappelletti about that.
You do. 3rd down and 9. Play action. Olsen in trouble. Udeze had a hold of him, and now he goes down. It's going to be Frosty Rucker who got him. It was Kenichi Udeze who forced the play, and then he got help from his other defensive end buddy. 3rd sack of the ball game.
UCLA has done nothing on offense. That just speaks to how good this defense is.
Yep.
Especially when you get way ahead and you know the other team's got to put the ball up.
Most sacks allowed in the Pac-10 and 3 more today. Add that to the fact that the Trojans came in with 36. They have 39 now. Kluwe to punt. Hangs it up. Carlson waiting. Late fair catch, but he did get it called at about the 41-yard line. With 4 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in the half. Trojans with a big lead.
Right. It's got a whole lot of folks around here talking. Now, does Michigan and Ohio State, do they both go to a BCS Bowl?
Iowa has all 3 timeouts left, and with Matt Shabert in, with Sorgi on the sideline, Brian White's been very conservative. Kirk Ferentz and his staff start thinking about timeouts to get the ball back with good field position and some time on the clock.
UCLA 2, leaving no doubt. Folks, didn't the computers lose credibility this week? Can you imagine one of those rascals had TCU ranked 3rd, and another one dropped USC from 2nd behind the Buckeyes after they were.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. Again, 4 wideouts.
Satisfied with his first touchdown, and now Maryland looking for more points.
57-yard punt, 50-yard return. Not a lot of time left. Almost intercepted.
Then at 5 Pacific, you'll see Notre Dame take on Stanford or Miami-Pittsburgh. Check your local listings for the games in your area, or get ESPN Game Plan and watch the game of your choice. And the pass distribution, he's getting everybody involved, well, especially the wide receivers.
Yeah, where you like to throw it. A quarterback likes to throw it to his wide receivers because you get some big plays.
And there it is, his biggest receiver. Another completion down inside the 30 to Mike Williams. Matt Ware made the tackle. Those guys are inching closer and closer to being a 200-yard hookup for a half between quarterback and receiver. They're up about 180 some yards between them.
Their passing, USC has got 275 yards, rushing 51 yards in the first half. So they've done it mainly through the air.
3rd down. They haven't had too many 3rd downs, but 3rd and 3. And 3 wideouts in there. Steve Smith, Kerry Colbert, and Mike Williams. With Williams, the big fella, in the slot right there on the left side of your screen. They'll run a draw play instead, and Herschel Dennis has a big opening. As Bob said, they can do it on the ground or in the air, and every time you think, okay, they're going to throw, they sneak one of those guys past you. Pick up a 12, 1st down. Only marker at the end of the play as well. th time today, if this play stands, that USC has had a play of 10 or more yards. They came in with 16 plays on the season of 40 plus.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. The penalty's offset. Result of the play, 1st down.
All right, so that one offsetting penalties, personal fouls each way. Here's a look at Steve Sarkisian, the former BYU quarterback who was quarterback for Lavelle Edwards and Norm Chow, of course, the offensive coordinator for so many years up there. And this is a kid they really think is going to be a good coach. He already off to a good start, one of the young guys on the USC staff.
A lot of young guys on that staff. There's 4 guys under 30.
1st down, Trojans already with a big lead. Here's the stretch play. That one almost broke open for Herschel Dennis. He got tripped up as he got through the line, and he still got down to about the 11-yard line. Down to 3 minutes remaining in the half. If you just joined us, it's been a huge day for Matt Leinart and Mike Williams as they have hooked up to the tune of 181 yards on 11 completions to his big wide receiver.
And he's made it look easy. I mean, he throws such a soft ball. It's a nice spiral. And it's right on target most all the time.
Saw the great numbers from Matt Leinart in the red zone this year with 16 touchdowns. He's in that red zone again, but they'll keep it on the ground. And this one, no gain, really. Bring up a 3rd down and at least 4. Dennis dragged down by Jared Page. So now on 3rd down, we'll see if Leinart does go to the end zone again to add to his already seasoned statistics that are impressive. There you see Sarkisian sent it into plays. And the big 6'5" left-hander steps into the huddle. Williams has caught 3 already today on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 5. And Big Mike's in the slot again on the right side, which is the left of your screen.
It's wide open over there in the slot.
3rd down and 5. Leinert's going to come the other way, though. Comes back to Steve Smith, and Smith actually lost yardage. So they thought they had something working out in the left flat, and it ended up being about a 3-yard loss. Coming up on the Capital One halftime show, John Terry and Craig will have highlights and analysis from around the country. They'll talk about Michigan's win over Ohio State and a lot more. Keep you posted on all the scores of the game still going on, and they'll have some things I'm sure to say about this one. So that's a minute 25 seconds away. Ryan Killeen's already hit a 38-yard field goal. He'll try this one from 32. This would be his 18th successful field goal of the year if he hits it, and he does. So tack on 3 more for the Trojans. A minute and 14 remaining in the first half. All USC over UCLA, 33-2.
Start your day with something new. I wake up to cold pizza. It's Guys in the Know.
It's a real baseball White House.
And the better you feel, the more sex you tend to have.
Oh my goodness.
Girls with the down low.
Manute Bol suited up as a jockey. This is a rocket with wheels.
It's dark.
That's dangerous.
And the hard.
I just wanted to keep skating.
A little mayhem.
Oh my God!
In the AM.
Are you hot wings or are you cold pizza?
You don't get this at any other morning show.
Wake up to cold pizza. The morning show with everything. Weekday mornings at 7 on ESPN2.
Coming this December to ABC, there's a war being waged between the FBI
Put the gun down!
and the mob.
Now, who do you work for?
Divided by a line.
We just buried the agent you're replacing.
Both sides are ready to cross.
Charlie killed a Fed. Charlie got his shot off.
Anything you see around here belongs to Mr. Malloy.
FBI!
Line of fire.
When you're with us, you're with us.
Tuesday, December 2nd on ABC. Viewer discretion advised.
That's Ryan Killeen, who just hit a 32-yard field goal, his second of the day, capped a 43-yard scoring drive again. All the drives right in that 2.5 to 3.5 minute range today, as has been the case most of the season for USC. They kick a couple yards deep. Tyler Bell won't bring this one out. Time now for our Jeep rushing playbook, Robert.
All right, you hear us talk about draw plays all the time. Draw plays. What's a draw play? Let's go ahead and start this play. Watch the quarterback. He's going to drop back like a pass play. Now, see, he drops back. Now watch the linebacker. See this linebacker? And this is a linebacker. They're going to drop out of there. Watch it. See, they drop out of there. Now he hands it to him, and there is a huge hole in here because the linebackers dropped out, and they called a draw play. So a draw play is a fake pass and a run.
Almost a face mask on that one. The end of the run, a good one by Maurice Drew. Frosty Rucker got down there to make the hit. He took one in the helmet. Somebody almost grabbed his face mask on that run. And UCLA has run 23 plays, but they only have 39 yards to show for it. That is what you call tough sledding. And we knew this defense of USC's was good, but they're playing even better than we expected.
You know what's tough sledding is for Carl Durrell to be in the same town with USC and Pete Carroll. Yep. He's 3 years behind, 2 years behind where Pete was.
And it's going to take some time to catch up. And as Bob said earlier, when we talked to Carl, he's taken some heat about being a very laid-back coach. He's pretty reserved. He's not as animated on the sideline as somebody like a Pete Carroll. He says, you know what, that's Pete's deal.
That's Pete's way. Yeah.
That's Pete's way, and I have my way, and I've coached this way forever, and it's the way I played as well. And people are going to have to accept that and accept the fact that this is going to take some time to build the foundation and, you know, give the guy some time. He's only been coaching 11 games, for crying out loud.
This rivalry is different. It's not Washington State, or Cal and Stanford, or Arizona and Arizona State. This is an inner city.
Yep. This is 15 minutes apart. 15
minutes apart, and you know, whatever the other guys over there are doing, especially with Pete, now he's got this program rolling. But his first year at USC, they were 6-6.
So about the same boat that Carl's in right now.
Exactly.
26 seconds remaining. Timeouts taken here. We asked the Aflac trivia question earlier. Which Trojan holds a single season reception record? Any guesses, Swanee?
Well, I'm standing on the sideline. I see Keyshawn over there, so I'm saying it's Keyshawn. I know he caught 102 in one season.
Grease?
I'd say Keyshawn.
I'll say, I don't know, Kareem Kelly. I don't know. Let's get an answer. We're going to get a video answer. Keyshawn Johnson down the middle and's got it. So Keyshawn here today.
There he is.
Tomorrow on the.
I almost said Johnny Morton, but I think that was a single game. Yeah.
I think career reception leader was probably Kareem Kelly. He graduated last year.
Yeah.
So Keyshawn, looking on, his alma mater is in fine shape. He had 168 career catches. Kareem Kelly had 204, something like that.
Hey, Bob and Brad, my career numbers at USC, I think, in 3 years as a starting wide receiver, I caught like 94 passes. That means Keyshawn passed me up in one season.
And Swanee, not only with the catches there, but he catches and passes. And now he is the leader.
No, I had Johnny Morton. No, see, I had Johnny Morton. I told you that he was a single game.
Yeah.
So I ought to get another one for that and
I don't know.
Tie you at 6.
Yeah, that.
Going for bonus points.
Yeah, bonus. That's a bonus
extra
points.
credit work we got going on.
Yeah.
Now. Pass incomplete down the middle.
Well, then I should get an extra bonus point for knowing that John L. Smith's middle name is Llewellyn.
We're not even going there now. Leinart finally got hit. Dave Ball got him.
We're not sure about that.
Yeah, we don't have any
Our
verification.
sources tell us otherwise.
So Matt Leinart has been untouched all day until this last pass. And it was Dave Ball who gave him one right in the ribs.
And that's what he's been doing all year long.
At the 38-yard line, final couple of plays of the half. Herschel Dennis out to the 43. And that will bring the first half to a close. Boy, can't look much better than USC has looked. And the only blemish on the whole thing right now is they had an extra point block that UCLA took in for its only 2 points of the first half. At the break, it's 33-2. Here's Swanee.
Coach, 33-2. You're having your way with UCLA. Are you surprised that they haven't done something a little bit different to try and contain your passing game?
I don't know. They got to do what they got to do. I'm more concerned about what we're doing, Lynn. We're having some real nice opportunities, and Matt's hitting them, and all the guys are making their plays right now. I'm real pleased with our protection, so we got a shot at keeping it going.
The only negative, if you will, a couple of guys are getting nicked up here in the first half. How long will you keep your starting unit in this ball game in the second half if you continue to dominate?
Well, I don't have a set formula for that. We play the game and then we figure it out as we go. But a lot of guys will play today if we can keep it going.
We can expect to see Williams continue if they cover him the same way. More passes coming here.
We'll just do what's there. We're taking what our game plan has given us right now. It looks real good. We're not gonna change anything right now. We've got a lot of playing left.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
At USC, they kind of follow the John Wooden philosophy. Execute, do what you do well, and don't worry about what the other team does.
Right now, UCLA is the team that's worrying because USC has dominated the first half 33-2 from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Let's head back to the other coast. Let's go to Times Square Stadium in New York. John, Terry, and Craig with an update on Ohio State, Michigan, and a lot more. Fellas.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. The big story of the week in the BCS was, of course, Oklahoma still #1, but Ohio State and USC flip-flop, the Buckeyes up to #2, and could they beat Michigan and have a chance to defend their national championship? The Wolverines say
at half price. Move to Earthlink. It revolves around you.
Hey guys, meet the new
Get out to the 20.
And Nate Kading just looked over at the Wisconsin bench. Just talking a little trash. Not many kickers that are going to lip off to the other sideline.
"11 seconds remain. If you're just joining us, Iowa scored first. Ramon Ochoa, 18-yard touchdown run. Anthony Davis then scored 2 touchdowns in a row, both from inside the 5. And Smith had a touchdown. And Ramon Ochoa made it a 21-14 game, and Kading just made it 21-17.
Touchdown, but then
only a 19-yard punt. So BYU staves off what could have been a damaging drive.
Regular.
Keep on shooting. That's something to consider.
Well, don't forget he has a lot of problems with the ineligibles, as does Florida. But I think they need his scoring. They're not a prolific scoring team, although Blanton certainly can complement them.
As Florida needs Dwayne Shinsis down deep. Gators down by 9 after the jump hook by Dwayne, who has 4. Blanton trying to use a pick of Krzyzewski.
See, the whole area is a one-on-one routine for. He's so quick, CJ.
There's Ricky Blanton, jumper left side. He can do it inside. He can go outside, and Ricky's into double figures with 10.
John Navarre to Braylon Edwards. Second time they'd hooked up on the day. It was 21-0.
Ole Miss trailing LSU 10-7 as we get set for Eli Manning's final 2 quarters of play here in Oxford, Mississippi. And let's go down to Jill for the SEC moment presented by Sonic. Jill.
Well, Vern, there's one play that stands out above the rest in this storied rivalry. On a rain-soaked Halloween night in 1959, LSU's Billy Cannon fielded a punt at his own 11, broke 7 tackles, and returned it 89 yards for the game's only touchdown. LSU won it 7-3. It was Ole Miss's only loss of the season, and it cost them the outright national championship.
All right, Jill, thank you. And, of course, a week later, LSU was defeated by Tennessee 14-13. And the 2 teams did have a rematch in the Sugar Bowl, won convincingly by Ole Miss, 21-0. We'll be back right after this.
Reese, thank you. We're joined by Chris Perry, who's got a rose in his ear. Next up, Pasadena, perhaps, unless some upset send you to the national title game. Hey, Chris, we heard all season long you're not supposed to be able to run in Ohio State. Your total by itself more than any other Buckeye opponent, 209 total yards. It inspired guys up front, huh?
Yeah, you know, the line did a great job. Kevin Dudley, one of the best fullbacks in the nation. The wide receivers did a great job blocking downfield, and I just took what they gave us.
I want to ask you, when the game kept going, you kept getting stronger, you getting banged up. What was happening to you out there physically?
You know, it was a hard-hitting game. You know, Ohio State has a great defense, and you know, I just kept on running hard. And you know, there's some stuff going on in the pile, but we came out victorious, so it doesn't matter.
You know, the play calling with Terry Malone, the offensive coordinator, the balance that you guys had, how important was that in opening these running lanes for you? Because the Ohio State defense really looked off balance.
It was very important. You know, Coach Malone's a great coach. You know, has a lot of help from all the other coaches, and he made some great play calls, and we just executed on.
Valvoline Halftime Show, brought to you by Valvoline's Max Life, who reminds you at 75,000 miles, it's time to switch to Max Life. From Times Square, New York, John Saunders and Terry Bowden.
Nighttime in New York City in Times Square Stadium, and the Capital One Halftime Show. John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James. A lot on the line all around the country, and in the SEC, Georgia knew this much. They could be in the driver's seat to get to the championship game if they could continue to win, and it'd have to start against Kentucky today. Michael Cooper takes off 10 yards.
Hey, this ground game was in control today. They did kick 3 field goals, which you don't like to see, but bottom line, Georgia's taking care of business on the ground.
That's right. They haven't had a ground game all year, been inconsistent. Michael Cooper comes back, gives them a...
I think this is the best USC team that I've seen in all those years.
This is the third time I've done this series of the 73 times they've gotten together. I don't know if we've ever seen a number one who was a bigger number one.
Well, he's got all the moves. He's got the fade, using his height and his strength. And he's got the intelligence to find when he's open and just stay in that area. And then the quickness to drive the defensive back off and break to the outside, the open area.
Huge first half for Mike Williams, the current wide receiver great for the Trojans. Let's go to our ex-wide receiver Trojan great, our buddy Lynn Swann.
Oh, thank you, Brent. You know, the years I played, the UCLA-USC rivalry, the teams were more evenly matched than they are right now, and Carl Durrell has a big job in building UCLA's team. He said in this first half his team had some opportunities to make some plays, just did not capitalize on them. What he did during halftime and what he wants to do in the second half is keep his team in the ball game. He's encouraged them. He wants them to come out and fight. And we all understand what Carl Durrell is really doing is not just trying to stay in a ball game today, but build an attitude for the future for UCLA when they have to play this team next year.
Yep, no doubt about it. And it's a tough learning process right now because the guys that are on this field, the seniors for UCLA, unless there's a drastic turnaround in the second half, and USC doesn't lose much when they're up by halftime. Unless there's a drastic turnaround, the UCLA seniors are never going to have the opportunity to beat their crosstown rivals. Our Pacific Life game summary. Statistically, let's take a look, and it's going to look lopsided, that's for sure.
It's not pretty. 36 total yards for UCLA, 346. The first downs, look at the first downs, 17-2. One rushing yard for UCLA.
And you know, 28 of those total yards came on one pass play.
Yeah.
That doesn't leave much left over for the other.
But it's like Swanee said, you just come out here and you build some character. You find out which of these Bruin players are trying and giving their best and trying to get better.
Olsen back to throw on the first play of the third, and he's going to get dropped down. And it's going to be Kenichi Odeze, who had a big first half and got himself a sack there. Offensive leaders, and it's hard to find any yardage, of course. Maurice Drew is that 28-yard pass play that we talked about that was the majority of their 35 yards total.
Olsen was 3 of 8 passing, and you know, it's not pretty.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. Half the distance to the goal, second down.
And that won't help. So they walk it off. This one's going to go back inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line.
UCLA had 7 possessions in the first half. They punted on 6 of those possessions, and they fumbled on the other one. So not much good. This is a very good defense, as we mentioned, starting out the ball game, that they're going up against.
Draw play to Tyler Ebell. He's hit immediately and dropped. Maybe got a yard. Will Poole came up from the secondary along with Mike Patterson on that front wall. We were talking with Pete Carroll yesterday, and you talk about Sean Cody, Kenichi Odeze, they get a lot of the publicity. He said, yeah, I tell you guys, watch number 99 in the middle, Mike Patterson. And Mike had the first big hit of the ball game. Remember back in the first quarter, he just came up with that tackle. 6-footer, 285, compact and strong.
Well, Patterson, Cody, Udeze, and the defensive end that's out today, Nizel, those 4 make up one of the best in the country.
Out of the shotgun, whistles blow as Olsen goes back to throw, and they blew it dead before it ever got going. Boy, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. They're going to be inside their own 5. Going to walk it off from the 9 down to close to the 4. There's Drew Olsen. Drew, one of the sophomore quarterbacks. He and Matt Moore have traded off and on this year, quarterback.
That's one of the good things about this. A lot of these guys, most of the starters on offense will be back. Kazarian, the tight end, will graduate, but most of the starters will be back.
Olsen from his own end zone throws complete across the 10 to the 11 to Craig Bragg. Nope, they're going to say incomplete. Did he trap it? Yes, he did. So punting time, and not a good place to punt from either. Kluwe's had his moments today when the punts haven't been the greatest, and now he's going to find himself snaring the snap right under his own goalpost.
Yeah, and UCLA this year have had 4 punts returned for touchdowns, and USC should get this ball inside the 50-yard line.
One of his better punts of the day, but it is going to be fielded at the 44 by Carlson, and he fights his way almost to the 34. So great field position for USC to open up their third quarter offensively. Our Pontiac USC drive summary. This is like getting in the you know,
this is what you want to be associated with if you're an offensive player right here.
This is the HOV lane for the drive summaries.
Yeah.
Touchdown, 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 field goal. They did fumble one, and that was at about the 1-foot line.
You got 6 possessions, you score on 5 of them, and the one you fumbled on, you should have scored on that one too.
Mike Williams not in there right now. Leinert back to throw. Quick toss is incomplete. There's a guy that really doesn't have much to do today, but he does have his helmet on. Tom Malone. He would be the nation's leading punter. The problem is his offense is so good he doesn't have enough punts to qualify, and it isn't going to happen for him, I don't think, this year, because the way we figured it out, you need about 3.6 punts a game. So he had to make up 3.6 today plus the 3 he's down in the national standings, and then he has to hit 3.6 more next week or 2 weeks from now against Oregon State. He needs about 11 or 12 more punts to qualify as the punting leader. There's no way he's going to get it the way their offense is playing.
He's averaging 49.2 yards per punt. And as you just mentioned, he's 3 shy coming into the day. He hasn't punted yet today.
Well, boys, you know, his leg is fresh.
Yeah.
Every time he
There's
gets
no
in,
doubt.
it's so unused. It's like, you know, hey, I'm all the way live.
We mentioned they're off next week. Oregon State comes visiting here to the Coliseum for their last game of the year. And should they go on to win this one and win that one, it's
New Orleans
I don't
time.
think there's any doubt that they'll be in New Orleans.
3rd down and 2 here. Leinert, Matt scrambling out of trouble and slides down at about the line of scrimmage. Matt Ball came all the way around from behind to flush him out of the pocket there. Matt doesn't have to run much. The leaders offensively for USC, and these numbers are going to be obviously way better than what we saw on the other side.
273 yards passing over here. That is a bad circle. Mike Williams, 181 yards, 11 receptions over there.
You do a bad circle every once in a while.
I do one every now and then.
Another field goal attempt coming up for Ryan Killeen. He's hitting 38-32. This one's a little deeper, and this would tie the school record of 19 field goals made on a year if he hits it from 45. And it's a fake. Will they get there? No. Tom Malone dropped down at about the line of scrimmage. So they try the fake punt, and Tom got in the action. He didn't get a punt. He just got his head taken off.
He's the holder on the field goal team, and he got a little action in there. He's probably wanting to get in there. Why would they try this? Because the field goes too long. It's a very windy day down there, and they saw something that UCLA was doing in the film study, but UCLA comes up very nicely.
Tom's going to go back and say, Coach, you know, this is great, but I'd rather kick it. So UCLA takes over on downs for the 2nd time today. Oh, what a hit.
It's Cody.
Sean Cody. Man, Maurice Drew never went down, but the contact, the pad popping was going on, and look at that big bicep on Sean Cody, and you know, he's set for life. You can say, well, you get a tattoo, you know, you don't want to get something that you're going to be embarrassed about someday. But in his case, just having the interlocked SC for Southern California, that lives on because Sean Cody in Southern Cal, same thing. So that's when you get one, you know you're in good shape.
There you go.
2nd down and long. 2nd down, 13. Olsen back to throw. Drew finds an open man, Junior Taylor, and he takes a big hit as soon as he catches it. From Lofa to Tubu. There's the, see, that's a good tattoo. You know that one's never going to, you know, grow old when your name's Sean Cody.
USC.
Yep.
Now, boys, I like that tattoo. It looks good. He's got a nice sized bicep. But what happens when he's like 50? And that bicep isn't that big. Yeah,
he's still Sean Cody from SC.
It's still SC, but he's going to have to, you know, find some way to keep that baby pumped up.
Yeah, that's true. 3rd down and 9. He's going to pump it up right here and try to bring the heat on the UCLA quarterback. Back to throw. Flags down. We're going to have a holding call on UCLA. And Olsen's spun out at the 32-yard line by Dallas Sartz. Boy, Drew has been running for his life and trying to get something going offensively. And he told us this week we knew if we were going to have any chance that I have to play better, but he can't be the only guy. So they're talking to the defensive captains of USC, and they're going to decline this thing and force a punt, I'm sure. But Larry Farina will tell us for sure.
Holding, offense, penalties decline, 4th down.
So they'll kick. Pete Carroll in the NFL for a long time, head coach of the New England Patriots and New York Jets, long-time defensive coordinator, started things off. He and Monty Kiffin, Monty, who's the defensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they go back through the college ranks at NC State and Arkansas, and then with the Minnesota Vikings. And they both use the same philosophy. They talk about 3 times a week. They got good defenses. Here's a fake punt, and this one's going to be good for a 1st down. All the way out near midfield is Chiller, the linebacker. So that one works.
Why not? Last game of the year, you're down 33-2. You're backed up in your own territory. This is one they don't expect to happen.
You got to love that, because that's their first down since we were a minute into the 2nd quarter. And that one was wide open. Nice blocking out there in front, too, to give him some extra room.
Looked like one of the interior linemen was downfield, though, before he threw the football.
We don't want to ruin it for him.
No, we don't want to do that.
At midfield, 3 wideouts now for UCLA. And Olsen on 1st down, throws. Boy, tough catch.
Did he catch it?
Yeah, Craig Bragg held on to that thing. That's his first reception. Craig's a good one of the captains, coming off a career-high day last week in the loss to Oregon. He had 10 receptions. This one, he had to lay out for it and catch it twice.
Yeah, he did.
It's his 66th catch of the year.
He came in with 149 catches in his career. He'll be back next year, redshirt junior. 14 touchdowns on for his career.
First Bruin ever to have 250-plus seasons in receptions. And again, they try the ground, and USC just won't give up anything there. Mike Patterson on the bottom, number 99, is the first man to make contact as Drew goes down at the line of scrimmage. And we're down to 8:45 remaining, 8:46 in the 3rd quarter, 33-2 USC. Mike Williams has not played yet this quarter, had a huge first half, as did his quarterback.
Yeah, I just want to point out Kevin Brown right there, number 56. He's a true freshman in that offensive line, and this is one of the guys that Carl Durrell is going to be building this offense around.
Look out from behind. There goes the ball again. Scooped up, and it's Mike Patterson. And Mike Patterson's heading to the barn. Touchdown, USC. Mike's got pretty good wheels. We told you he was strong.
He ran pretty well, didn't he?
He sure did. Marcel Armand came around the corner on the blitz. He got to Olsen, and Big Mike did the rest. 53-yard touchdown on the fumble recovery. That's a happy defensive lineman. You don't get many shots at that. Extra point to make it 40-2 is good. The junior, Mike Patterson, on a one-hopper, and he did the rest. Touchdown, Trojan.
Ready, Boomer? 1, 2.
really. I mean, the one, obviously, they got their touchdown. They've had good field position. They've been, the game has felt like they've been in LSU's territory a lot more than LSU's been in Ole Miss's territory, and yet they're down by 3.
David Cutcliffe got this head coaching job after he served as the offensive coordinator at Tennessee, where he coached Peyton Manning. Here's Mark back.
Nice move.
Yes, it was.
What a great effort by Matt Mark. He was dead in the water again.
Mark is going to be just short of the first down on 3rd down.
You know, one of the things that might be happening now is this Ole Miss defense that has played so well, maybe getting a little tired. That's the 7th missed tackle in the ball game, and that's what happened.
ESPN Classic.
UCLA! Go Bruins! Woo! Yeah! UCLA!
ABC Sports. Saturdays, the home of college football.
ABC puts on Sunday's best. The rookie falls for a senior officer.
Are you hitting on me?
And it could be his most dangerous move yet.
Are you crazy?
10-8 officers on duty. Then Sydney Bristow's secret.
Oh my God. You kept Sydney's secret from me.
Is finally exposed. A new alias. And he said.
She wanted to have sex.
She said.
He raped me.
And the truth.
Oh God, Jimmy.
Will destroy one of them.
How could we have missed this?
An all-new practice starting at 8/7 Central. ABC puts on Sunday's best.
Second defensive touchdown of the day for the Trojans, and they lead 40-2. Second time a defensive lineman has scored. Patterson and Udeze today have both scored touchdowns. Here's a kick. Taken at about the 9 by Maurice Drew. And he got across the 20, and that's about it. Let's take a look at the touchdown again.
Here is what happened and why it worked. Look up here. That's Allman, the defensive cornerback. Watch as he's going to slide into the inside. He and the linebacker, and they're both going to blitz. Right there. They got nobody blocking him. The quarterback has got to see that corner coming in from the short side of the field and be alert and check off and throw in a hot receiver. But that's the second touchdown that USC defense has produced today.
I tell you what, Mike Patterson looked like a fullback, not a defensive lineman, running that thing back. Here's the throw intended for Ryan Smith, incomplete. And let's check in, get an update from Times Square Stadium. Here's John.
Oklahoma and Texas Tech, long day for B.J. Simmons. He's chased around out of the pocket, probably should have taken a sack. Doesn't, throws it to the end zone. It's tipped. Derek Strait hauls it in, and then Derek Strait does some weaving and some bobbing and some work, and then shows the speed down the sidelines. Gets caught at the 3, but it sets up a touchdown. Oklahoma up 42-10.
All right, John, here it's 40-2. So number 1's taking care of business in Lubbock. The team that appears to be well on their way to being number 2 by Monday is taking care of business here in Los Angeles. And the ADT National Championship trophies on display, and Swanee knows full well all those national championships that they've got over there. Swanee, they don't have one of those.
Well, that's right. USC over the years has won several national championships. They're celebrating the 25th anniversary of their national championship in 1978. I was on the team in 1972. There are all kinds of trophies that represent number 1 in the nation, but we just don't have any crystal. And I say we at Southern California don't have any crystal.
Be careful saying that we down there now.
You got to add crystal to the family heirlooms, that's for sure. 3rd down and 6. Here's the throw, in and out of the hands of Harris. Hit him right in the chest, and then he got hit by Tutupu. And the team photo of the national championship that Lynn was on. There's old number 22 from 72. One of the greatest teams of all time, 12-0. And Maybe only team that would be better. The Miami Dolphins were 17-0. Last week, you don't celebrate. Too much is made out of that.
Had a good weekend.
Kansas City went down. I knew as soon as we had Dawson in the booth with us last week that Bengals were going to beat the Chiefs. Here's Carlson with the fair catch taken back at the 26-yard line. 47-yard kick, no return. We'll return in a moment. You look in from the Goodyear blimp with 7:10 left, third quarter. All USC right now.
It's fun to let the big dog eat. I like that crowd behind me saying, grip it and rip it? Heck yeah. Crush it whenever I get the chance. I think it's a great way to start a hole with the bang. I don't think it'd be nearly as much fun if you're putting first.
See Charles Howell III and the PGA Tour's best this season on ABC.
They're saying running back by committee is bad for football. I was just saying I see the relevance of committees, just not for running backs. Dan Patrick just used the word unitard in his column. I was just saying unitard is one of the most underutilized words in the English language. Wait, if I was thinking that, and they were thinking that.
ESPN and ACC Big Ten Challenge are coming to Greensboro. As the Tar Heels take on the Fighting Illini of Illinois. Be there to witness the action live and in person as the best of the ACC and the Big Ten shoot it out at the Greensboro Coliseum. Can you believe it? North Carolina versus Illinois, December 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern. Tickets available Monday, October 6th at the Greensboro Coliseum box office. Online at tickets.com. Select Lowe's food stores or charge by phone at 888-397-3100. Presented by 989 Sports.
Beautiful day in Southern California. USC leading UCLA. Not so pretty for the Bruins right now. 40-2. The Trojans out in front. And they've got it back at their own 27-yard line. Wendell White is the tailback. And he'll get the call. Wendell waits for his blockers, breaks out, now just shows his strength and his speed. Out to the 43-yard line, 16-yard run. You talk about perfect seasons, Super Bowl VII. That was right here, wasn't it?
It was.
Oh, good percentage. One interception in there. 2 out of 3. 2 of our 3 announcers were perfect in 72. Swanee and Grease. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Who's to say I wasn't perfect in 72?
Where were you?
Looked into
Where were you in 72?
I was matriculating through my junior year of high school.
We know where you were.
Don't make it sound bad now.
No. Well, you were up at Mankato State?
I was 4-4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Saints had kind of a tough go of it. We were scrappy, though. Oh, boy. I hate those guys in the truck. Well, you can't have all perfect records.
Let's see. Swanee, he doesn't have any Halls of Fame on his resume. He doesn't have any perfect seasons on his resume.
Oh,
why are we hanging around with this guy?
Yeah, no good. Here's the throw. Steve Smith's got it down the sideline. First down. Or very close. Nope, he got out at the 49.
Well, Bob, I would say the reason why we're hanging out with Brad Nessler is because he does make us look good.
He does do that, doesn't he?
Does a very good job. He's in a different Hall of Fame than the ones we're in.
Yeah.
He's driving the bus.
We have fun on the bus, I'll say that much for us. 3rd down and 2 coming up. In UCLA territory, which is where USC has spent a good part of the day. They've scored at least 30 points now in 10 games this year, and they've scored at least 40 in their last 6 games. That's pretty impressive offensively. Liner over the middle, in and out of the hands of Wendell White. Nice job by Brandon Chiller. He's not quitting yet. Chiller, the senior out of Carlsbad, California, senior outside linebacker. And he knows, he talked with us about what this whole thing meant, this in-town rivalry. And it looks like he's going to come up short and never having beaten the Trojans.
All right.
Tom Malone's going to punt.
There you go. You got to get a punt in here.
All right, Tom, we've built you up 49 plus. I know you probably want to knock this one out of bounds, but you got your chance, so kick it as well as you can. Hanging it up, try to drop it inside the 10. At the 6, it's fielded by Bragg. And he got out to about the 12-yard line. 5:54 remaining third quarter. And the Trojans have things in command, 40-2.
Those games where we see Oklahoma's defense all over the place, just dominate.
Well, they're quick.
They're quick. There's so much speed.
Check this out. I thought Coach Stoops was
When College Game Day's on campus, you got to step it up. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, 10:30 Saturday mornings on ESPN.
It is 4th down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. Dorsey under pressure, throws it, incomplete. The Buckeyes win. And now the party begins for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they are the national champions of college football.
The Bowl Championship Series on ABC Sports, Championship Television.
Tomorrow's special was going to be vegetarian lasagna, but since spaghetti with marinara sauce was served today, the staff did not feel it was appropriate to have 2 Italian dishes in a row. Therefore, the new special is shepherd's pie and lentil soup.
When you're trying to make a rush to a national championship game, you don't want to see one of your starters laid up like that. That's John Drake, the big junior out of Long Beach, who got hurt early in the ball game, and the right ankle in a boot.
Well, the news to pass on to him is 7 weeks from tomorrow is a national championship game. So maybe we can get back.
Hopefully.
If USC can get there.
That's right. Still got one more to get through and another quarter here, but certainly well on their way. Kazarian, the tight end, with a grab there. Ofa Tatupu, if that name rings a bell. His dad, Mosey, was a great player here and in the National Football League. Mosey Tatupu's son didn't start off at here at USC. Sat out last year after transferring from Maine.
Yeah, they grew up, they played for New England, and he grew up in that area up there.
Yep.
To Maine and then came on out here.
He was a starter there the first year too. Came back out here, and now wearing the same colors as Daddy did. Here's Olsen's throw, and it's complete. Joe Cohen, a freshman, made the catch and got it out to about the 20. Pickup of 5, time permitting. Remind you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. John, Terry, and Craig will have scores and highlights from around the country. Didn't appear that there were any surprises going on too much today. We've had such a crazy season. I didn't see all the scores on the halftime show, but we know Oklahoma's taking care of business, and we know USC's taking care of business. LSU and Ole Miss was still tight the last time we checked. It's offensive pass interference.
Replay, second down.
This is the guy that caught the ball, Joe Cohen. There
right
it is.
There. Clearing out.
That was Harris.
And being an offensive guy, that receiver may not have done that. The linebacker may have jumped in front of him and tried to cover him. Yeah. But he got called for it.
We used to run that play all the time in Pittsburgh. We used to call it the pick play. Everybody called it a pick play, but you got to be a little more dramatic when you run it. You got to throw a hand up like you're going for a pass, not blocking the guy.
You got to pick your spots a little bit is what you got to do. And picking Olsen to throw. Out complete to about the 13, maybe the 14-yard line. Kazarian again, the tight end. Kazarian's a big target too. 6'6", 250 for Blaine. Out of Woodland Hills, California. Got some big tight ends in this game. 1'6'6" and 1'6'8". Melvin Simmons, good to see him out there. Melvin just trotted off, one of the captains, and he'd been banged up. Didn't start the ball game today, didn't play last week. Had a bruised leg that was giving him a lot of trouble. Didn't practice a lot this week. Just getting his feet wet again, though. Olsen wide open over the middle is Craig Bragg. And Bragg has got a first down. Bragg out across the 25 to about the 26.
But as you mentioned, Brad, USC has the week off next week, so they can get some of these guys healthy and get them back for Oregon State. And if they take care of business there, they'll be in the national championship game. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Yep, that's for sure. West Virginia over Syracuse today. How about that West Virginia team of Coach Rodriguez? Boy, they're just a couple wins away from being really good. Had Miami in their hip pocket, let them off the hook.
Yes.
At the 26, first down, flags are down. There's some movement at the line. And so the whistle stop play with 3:44 remaining in the third quarter. And here's the call.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
It was Mike Patterson that might have been in that neutral zone on the offside. Our singular poll question earlier of the games today, which was the best rivalry, and overwhelmingly the 38,000 plus folks that voted Michigan, Ohio State, 72%. And this game we're doing came in third behind Auburn and Alabama.
I think there's a lot of respect, Michigan, Ohio State, and out here. That Auburn Alabama game, I don't think those people like each other.
Yeah, they don't. They play tonight on ESPN. That game is in about an hour and a half. They match up of two teams that are only playing for pride this year now after so much talk early in the season about how good was Auburn, and to start the season they got their tail whipped by this group, and that's when everybody found out or thought they knew that not only was Auburn not as good as everybody thought, but this team was probably better, and that's proven to be true now.
There's a defensive coordinator right there calling the defenses.
Second down, short. A yard to go, and Olsen will try to throw for it. Drew draws a bead, gets it complete, and Moss out of speed down the sideline. And he's got a first down, and he's down in USC territory, something that UCLA hasn't gotten to too many times today. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. And Taco Bell, think outside the bun. Coliseum in Los Angeles. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew on a beautiful day for a football game. UCLA has only run 8 plays in USC territory, and their deepest penetration has been the 37, so they're trying to improve on that, and they're going for the home run ball right here. And it's broken up, almost caught by Bragg. And that could have been a touchdown. Let's get an update from the SEC. Here's John in New York.
Well, Brad, is LSU against Ole Miss. Ole Miss unbeaten in the conference, but Matt Mock here lost this one 53 yards, hooking up with Devery Henderson. Touchdown and a 10-point lead at 17-7. Meanwhile, in another of the big rivalries of the day, Cal has taken the lead over Stanford 14-10.
Yeah, the game is close. A big game. This one is not close. 40-2. And we'll keep you posted on those other ones as we go. John and Terry and Craig keep you abreast of all the games. Here's a wide open Maurice Drew out in the flat, and Drew bangs his way to the first down. Nice run.
He's a young kid, catches the ball well. He caught 10 coming into today, and he caught that ball, was a little behind him, so he just did a little move, cut the ball, turned around, and just kept going. They got some good young backs here at UCLA and some young people to build on for next year.
Maurice Drew, a kickoff return guy, a good guy, as Bob said, out of the backfield and in the 500-yard range on the ground. So he's pretty versatile young fella. He stays in there as the tailback in the eye. Moss, the motion man, into the slot. And it's Drew again. And Drew dropped the ball this time.
And the only problem with that, he's a true freshman, and we saw Bush for USC. USC's got the ball, but the two true freshman running backs in this game have both put the ball on the ground.
And Will Poole recovers this one.
You got to hold on to the ball. You got all these fancy moves and all this other stuff, but when you get to somebody that's going to hit you, you got to cover it up.
Here he is in the open field, trying to tuck it away right there, but there's the strip by Poole. So Poole makes the hit and the fumble recovery. All three of the turnovers today are fumbles.
Yeah.
And the two defensive linemen, ironically enough, got touchdowns out of theirs. Poole, the guy that's got the speed, he just had to cover his. And John David Booty is in at quarterback. So we've seen all we're going to see of Matt Leinart apparently today. Here's the freshman. Handing off to Lendale White. So freshman to freshman on the exchange there. Booty out of Shreveport, Louisiana, and I think a lot of you know his story, and it's a very, very unique one in that he graduated from high school an entire year early enough to come out here. You can't find a guy much younger in college football than this fella.
He was one of the top high school quarterbacks as a junior. USC was very interested in him and was surprised when he was available and just decided to come out. So they said, come on out.
And here's Lendale White.
Bob and Brad, you know, he's wearing number 17. That 17 might be how old he is on his next birthday. That's how young he is.
Wow.
I think he's 18.
He is 18.
You know, he did not redshirt this year. They also have Brandon Hance, a transfer from Purdue. And there's some thinking that since Leinart is only a sophomore and has 2 years of eligibility left, that maybe Booty will redshirt next year since he didn't do it this year.
That's what would seem like the logical thing.
Some separation between he and Leinart.
Yeah. Here he is to throw, hit from behind, and he drops the ball. And it's covered by UCLA. They're still scrambling for it. UCLA had the best shot at it, and they did get it.
I think it was a Dave Ball that came around.
I believe it was. So the senior leading the country in sacks comes storming around the corner and hit Booty before he could get rid of the ball.
Yeah, it was Ball from his right end position. Now that Rogers is out of the game, he's having a pretty good time of it with his backup left tackle.
So that's his first career sack against USC among the 30+ that he has now. He's a career sack leader for the Bruins. That's 16.5 on the year. And it sets up his offense inside the 20. 1st and 10. Olsen to the end zone. Touchdown to the tight end, Mercedes Lewis. So the turnover turns into points for UCLA.
Nice call by Steve Axman. You get a turnover, right away go against the true freshman Bing in the secondary with your best receiver.
17-yard touchdown pass. And finally into the end zone go the Bruins. Justin Medlock will come in for the point after. We'll try to make it 40-9. And he does. So good things happen when you force turnovers. It only took UCLA one play to get going.
So here he is, right over here. He's just going to run a little route down the middle of the field. That's Bing, the true freshman, as I mentioned, and a nice throw, good timing.
Mercedes, another one of those big tight ends. He's 6'6" too, so that's a target for Olsen to draw a bead on. And there you see Mercedes in the end zone. And that is his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. And Drew Olsen, finally something going right for him. He got some heat, got rid of it. He says, finally. Whew.
Well, he's going against one of the best defenses in the land.
Yep.
And that offensive line is not giving him a lot of help.
Olsen hit 8 of his last 9 passes, including the touchdown. It all started with a defensive play, though, by Dave Ball on the sack to force the fumble. Pac-10 today. Cal leading Stanford, as John told us a couple of minutes ago. Oregon in front of you, Oregon State by 15. And Washington State, Washington is a little bit later start. And going into the day, We were talking about it just among ourselves about if Washington State would win, they're going to move up in the BCS because of the teams that lost in front of them, TCU among them and Ohio State among them, and that makes the strength of schedule for USC that much better. But USC doesn't have to worry about all that right now because Michigan took care of Ohio State. They're taking care of their own business. Reggie Bush has great speed. Down the sideline he goes, one man to beat, and he beat him. He's gone. Touchdown, 96 yards. Oh boy, they told us he had some burners and he just lit a couple for us. There's a bush on fire. Oh man, as if they needed more points.
You've just seen the future of USC return a touchdown, return a kickoff for a touchdown, and they've got a lot of talent. Pete Carroll was telling us yesterday, he says, I love to recruit.
He finds it to be part of the competitive nature of football. He said, I love to compete. Man, that's competing.
You have to evaluate. He says in the NFL, says you only get one draft pick a year in the first round. Here, all these kids are out there. You can go out and take as many as you want.
For whom the bell tolls, the victory bell looks like it's going to be USC's in 15 more minutes, because at the end of 3, they're all over the Bruins, 47-9. Our presentation of college football continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
Cut. As a former Florida State half.
Moment too soon. The NBA.
BC.
Brought to you by Jerry's Home Improvement Center.
Welcome back, everyone. Oregon.
Give Traveler some oats there, so he doesn't eat that ADT championship trophy. His team right now is chewing up UCLA.
He's got his eye on it.
He does, doesn't he? 47-9. Trojans kick. Taken at the 2 by Drew. Drew through the middle. Broke a tackle. Tough run. Still on his feet. Maurice Drew. Maybe he'll take one. Inside the 40. He's gone. Drew all the way 99 yards. Touchdown.
Back-to-back true freshman running backs at the different schools have returned the kickoffs for touchdowns.
So Maurice said, Reggie, you can do it, I can do it. Only he did it a little better. He took it a yard deeper. Boy, did he show some nice speed. Not only that, but look at the arms on this kid. He didn't have those arms and the build that he has, he would have never made it past the 22-yard line, where he took a big-time pop.
5'8", 200 pounds, 99 yards.
So looks like UCLA is going to go for 2. They've hit, connected, I should say, on 1 of 2 this year in that capacity. So that didn't take long to open up the third quarter. 2-point conversion. Olsen throws, and he has it swallowed up, and it's intercepted. This might go 2 points the other way. Down the sideline. Trojans have got it. Sean Cody, can he get there? All the way, not quite.
Should have given it up.
Holy moly.
Cody, the big defensive lineman, 285 pounds, should have given it to one of the smaller guys.
Sean says, just let me die here for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There you go. He's still got enough energy to celebrate a little bit. He was close. That SC tattoo almost stood for score right there. Sartz, I think, is the guy that almost swallowed that ball as Olsen just kind of short-armed it. He tried to aim one in there.
There's Cody right there, 84.
There's Sartz.
You got to reflect the deflection. Sartz knocks it down. Cody picks it up. And there's about 6 guys in red that are faster than he is.
They're way out in front of him.
Yeah, they're all saying, come on, come on.
It was Lewis, the tight end, who didn't give up on it. Mercedes caught him inside the 5 right in front of our camera. Took our camera away with it almost. Boy, we've had some huge plays. Yeah, Gus almost took one of the chops down there. That's his camera. And there he is afterwards and saying, why couldn't I have made it 5 more yards? A great play anyway. Boy, all the defensive linemen getting in on the act, huh, for USC. Rucker's the only guy that hasn't either had a fumble recovery or a touchdown or a something going on.
Yeah.
Patterson and Udeze and Cody. Maybe Frosty's still got one coming up in him. Who knows?
We got some time left.
Yeah. Crazy game. We've seen a 2-point conversion on a blocked extra point. That was a 1-point attempt, and we just about saw a 2-pointer go the other way on a 2-point attempt. Onside kick group set up.
SC lined up at the wrong end of the field.
That won't work.
Well, it's is that Bush again? He's a true freshman. Somebody's got to tell him where to go. Yeah, that's Bush. Went down to the wrong end.
Pat McGrath just brings up a good point. He said we haven't run a play from scrimmage in like 10 minutes. we've had the ball going 90 yards, 96 yards, 99 yards. And here comes the kick. Nice. Fair catch is called for, but nobody's there. Finally, they do take it on one hop. It's Reggie Bush, and he gets to the 25. All right, ABC Sports presentation of college football. Brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention. Miller Lite, there's good enough, and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call. And Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. I don't know, I might have to have a wetsuit on over at the Olympic pool today. It's not that warm out, but getting the laps in. A lot of world records broken there back in '84. And some folks getting some workouts in today. Good for them. Here the workout has been USC's today. They worked it to a 47-15 advantage. Booty lost the snap from center. UCLA saying they have it, and they do. A flag down, though. Chiller, the linebacker's the guy on top of it.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, that saves a turnover. Carl, there'll be better days.
Well, the first thing he's got to get rid of is all these little nitpicking offsides penalties, because earlier in the game they had a turnover, but a penalty didn't allow it to happen. And here again they had a turnover, but again a penalty on their defense doesn't allow the turnover. Even with what will be a 6th loss for Carl today, to have a 500 record at 6-6. Touch on that in a moment. Booty, play action, bootleg, and throws complete.
Steve Smith, freshman to freshman there. Let's find out more on Ole Miss and LSU. Here's John in New York.
When your last name is Manning, you can count on just about everything. And Eli this time just puts a little air under the ball. 10 yards to Brandon Jacobs. And it's 17-14. Ole Miss has the ball back again.
Yeah, I knew that one wasn't over yet.
Eli's done a lot of coming back in the fourth quarters to win games for Mississippi.
You're not kidding. Breaking all of Daddy's records along the way. The one that he wants is to get to Atlanta in the SEC championship game. They got to get through LSU to get there. Lendale White, left side, cuts to the corner and gets cut down. Nice open field tackle by Keith Short.
Here's the top 5 BCS standings right here. USC was 0.19 behind, but that's not going to matter. USC is going to move up. LSU is trying to win at Mississippi, so Ohio State will drop down. USC will move up to number 2.
Georgia will move up a little bit farther in the top 10 as well. They beat Kentucky today. 13:50 left here, second down and 9. Out of the reserve players in for the Trojans. Here's a quick toss, and it's almost picked off. Dave Ball got a hand on it, tipped it away. Well, you know, you talk about BCS in top 5, and I think if you got good defenses, you got a pretty good chance to be in there.
Yeah, that's the one you need to look at right there. The last 5 champions, where they ranked in scoring defense.
And this year, Oklahoma and USC, you see what they've done and the points they've allowed.
USC's scoring defense is a little high at 17th.
They score so many points on offense, it doesn't matter.
That's true. They probably put, like this game right here, they put in some of their second and third teamers, and the other team scores a little bit.
And Dale White, and again, Keith Short. Boy, Keith Short is staying out there with the running back, Lendale White, the freshman, true freshman out of Denver.
Is Booty hurt?
And Booty getting up, holding his left wrist, it appears. See if he got it on somebody's helmet. No, he got, well, he got more than a helmet. He got his whole body leveled by Dave Ball.
Yeah.
And that's where you say, I wish I was back in high school another year.
That's where he would have been playing this year.
Yeah.
Well, we got Malone with another kick. Maybe this fourth quarter he'll get some kicks in.
I don't think he's going to get enough. Tom Malone to punt. This one he can air out a little bit if he wants to.
That's a tail dragger.
Yeah, he didn't get what he wanted on that one.
That'll hurt the average.
And where they're going to walk it out to, way out near the 33-yard line. 13:20 remaining. Some hard knocks between UCLA and USC.
And that's why they call Lands Road, Lands Road.
Overtime, when you're playing at home, you love your chances to win a game in overtime like that.
They'll keep it on the ground. This is Pearson. Struggles and gets inside the 20 to the 18.
Down. Again, 2 defenders, and JoJo Walker gets it for the TD. 80 yards in 5 plays in a hurry for Maryland.
Nice arm strength by McBrien on that ball.
3rd and 4 for Eli Manning.
That's Jonathan Nichols coming into the game, the most accurate field goal kicker in the country. He has missed 1 today. That was from 47 yards at the other end of the field. Here's Manning rolling to his left, pulling up, lobs it deep in the end zone, incomplete.
Ole Miss lucky they didn't get a holding penalty on Marcus Spears that time, who was chasing Eli.
Next topic. 11.5 minutes. Jones breaks the daylight. Crosses midfield to the 45. Whistle sounded prior to the ball coming.
On with Max Kellerman weekdays at 5 on ESPN. Yeah.
Accurate field goal kicker in the SEC. SEC before the day started.
Snap good, hold good, kick bad.
Dave Ball and Matt Ball, identical twins. Dave, number 43, will put the hit on John David Booty, and also has a sack today, his 16th and a half of the year. The guys are almost exactly the same size, about a 5-pound difference. As Drew Olson drops back to throw and throwing long and incomplete. Somebody said to Dave Ball the other day, said, you know, which one of you guys is older? He said, well, he says, I am by about 15 or 20 minutes. It depends on which one of my parents you talk to. There's a little bit of confusion going on in the hospital room with those two guys, and there you see them together. I would think that would cause a little confusion.
It's interesting that they don't have an initial on the back of their jersey. They just have Ball.
Yep.
Usually when you have two players with the same name, and particularly two brothers, you'll have a M and a D in front of their name.
Here's Olson. He's going to break out of the pack and get a first down. Oh, I don't know. I thought he was going to get a first down before Jason Leach said hello.
He got stopped.
Did he ever? He still might have it, though. The spot looked pretty good, and it is first down.
Leach, the free safety, is the leading tackler on that Trojan defense.
Bob and Brad, they're going to take John David Booty off the field and x-ray his left wrist. And he was talking to the trainer, and he was motioning, saying what happened was he got the wrist bent back this way. So they're going to take him in, get an x-ray, and just see what kind of injury he has and not take a chance with him.
It'll be interesting to see now. I assume that Matt Leinert's going to come back in at quarterback as Maurice Drew has not given up. Boy, somebody taught him about this rivalry, and he goes 17 more yards, and there's this one he was talking about, favoring his left wrist is the freshman quarterback for USC. So Maurice Drew gets it back down into USC territory at the 39-yard line.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
All right, you got Oklahoma. They're winning today, so they're going to go to 12-0. If they lose in the Big 12 championship game,
to Kansas State, probably.
Kansas State or Missouri.
Right.
What do you think? Should they be in the game or not?
Yeah, I think they still should be there. Will Poole with a sack from the secondary. What do you think?
I agree with you.
They've got such a big gap, and they have throttled people so bad that.
You know, we've seen Oklahoma. Now we have seen USC. We have seen Ohio State. We have seen, you know, Miami and some of the Eastern teams. We've seen
Michigan, all the teams.
Michigan and all those.
A lot of one-loss teams. Swanee, do you agree on all this?
Absolutely. I think when you look back, especially when we had Nebraska going to the national championship game in Pasadena against Miami, and they didn't even win the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
You look at the talent Oklahoma has, the level of consistency, and if you had one more point for a loss, they'd still be ranked #1.
The team that we haven't seen that's still in the mix, at least at this point, and that could change in the next 10 or 15 minutes, is LSU. We don't get an opportunity to see the SEC that often, other than watching film. And they're in a dogfight with Ole Miss.
But the team that stands head and shoulders above the rest, to me, is Oklahoma.
And this is the second best team I've seen.
Teams that is second best to that is USC, both on offense and on defense. And one thing that jumps out about on both of those teams is the coaching staffs. Pete Carroll and Norm Chow handling the defense and the offense here, and Bob Stoops and his staff handling Oklahoma. They are head and shoulders above the rest.
3rd and 23. Olson again flushed out of the pocket. Drew, tough run. Boy, he's taking some hits now. And I think John's got an LSU Ole Miss update for us. Let's check in with John at Times Square Stadium.
Jonathan Nichols, who rarely misses for Ole Miss, has this one from 36 yards for the tie, and he is just wide to the right. So it remains 17-14 with about 2.5 minutes left.
Wow, he's a finalist for the Grozo Award.
He was like 25 of 26 or something. He never misses.
Never, but he missed a huge one there. Game not over, though. We'll keep you posted on that one. 47-15 here, under 11 to go. Need to get all the way down to the 29. Olsen throws across the middle, and it's complete, but it's well short of that. Down to the 34. And USC will take over on downs. We'll be right back. It's all Trojans.
To the 16. SB to the 30.
Control.
I didn't know where to turn.
Are you overwhelmed by debt? Are creditors breathing down your neck? Do you feel lost and helpless?
Boy, he's a quiet guy when you sit down and talk to him, but there's nothing quiet about his game.
New Orleans, point after attempt is good. Kevin Jones, 22 rushes, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns. The all-time single-season rushing mark is his.
I think you're going in the wrong direction, right? Listen, dog, I'm beat.
Before the catch was made. But Marquise Hill has just played outstanding today for Nick Saban's defense.
Total defense so far in this game. Ole Miss with 232 yards. 2nd and 10. Play fake again. Manning off the back. And there's SB open. Can't hang on. He was bumped.
Matt Leinart had a couple of passes dropped, and he's been almost perfect today. The 2 touchdowns were to Mike Williams. USC got 2 defensive touchdowns today. Udeze had one of them. Patterson had the other. Cody almost had a 2-pointer on a 2-point conversion return, and it's going to be the 6th straight time now that's been 40 points or more.
Yeah.
3rd quarterback's in, Brandon Hance. As Swanee said, John David Booty goes in for x-rays, and so the ex-Purdue quarterback comes out throwing, and it's his tight end Gunther on his first pass attempts.
If you just joined us, and if you didn't recognize those defensive names, those defensive scores, those aren't defensive backs that intercepted balls. Those are 2 defensive linemen that scored touchdowns.
Matt Leinart today so smooth and made such great decisions. I said to him, you know, you look like the guy from The Bachelor. He said, oh, jeez. I said, you've gotten that before. And he said, yeah, I have.
Did you know that The Bachelor was a walk-on at Michigan State?
I didn't, and he was a walk-on quarterback, wasn't he? Yeah. So it must run in the quarterback family.
No,
Matt, by the way, is a bachelor.
He's a kicker, right? He's more of a kicker than a quarterback.
We didn't need to go into that story.
He was a pretty boy. He was more of a kicker than a quarterback.
And Matt, we said to him, did you ever think in a million years that 6 months ago you'd be in this position? He said, no way. Back in spring ball, he just frightened for the quarterbacking job to take over for a Heisman Trophy winner, and he's now gone 197 passes, way over the school record for passes without an interception, and he just was remarkable again today. Good for him. Big season for him. Hance changing things up. Reggie Bush, the single setback. Hance zips one in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Steve Smith. And Hance had some zip on that one.
One of the reasons the success that Leinart had is Norm Chow right here. We've been talking about him a little bit today. He's had some quarterbacks in the past, Jim McMahon, Steve Young, Ty Detmer at BYU. Phillip Rivers over at the NC State he had as a freshman. Look at this. He's coached 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks.
That's not by accident either.
Yeah, and you know, it's just in a national championship. It was a part of it at BYU. It's definitely a good quarterback coach.
We're going to have roughing the punter as Malone finally gets out there for a chance to punt, and he got wiped out on a fake field goal attempt earlier. Then he hit a punt, and this time he gets leveled by Wesley Walker.
Foul, roughing the kicker.
It's a roughing.
On the return.
That's first down.
That means the punt's not going to count. He needs punts.
He needs punts. He doesn't need to get killed out there all day like he has been today. Here's another look from behind Tom. Remember, he got leveled on a fake field goal. Now here he is with Walker coming in and clobbering him. All he wants to do is kick the ball.
Just get some punts.
Yeah. That's not the way he wants to earn his letter. So USC keeps its drive alive now. You know, you're talking about Norm Chow, and we'd be remiss not to mention that Pete Carroll doesn't know if he's going to have him around for a long time. There's been talk about him at least talking to the folks at Arizona about their coaching vacancy. Now you hear conflicting reports. Some people say Mike Stoops, a co-defensive coordinator at Oklahoma, has already got that job wrapped up, and he apparently, from what we have learned, is going to have a second interview with the Arizona folks tomorrow after the Texas Tech game, which is not yet concluded. But Norm told us yesterday that he expects to talk to them and just kind of survey the situation. They want to talk to him. He wants to talk to them. Otherwise, he might just stay here as coordinator. You don't know.
But you don't really get the feeling that he's, you know, he doesn't come out and say, hey, I love this place. This is where I'm going to be for the next 15 years.
Right.
It's he's great for any quarterback or any program, and certainly is very happy with Pete Carroll and USC, but you just don't know how long that's going to last.
And there's his protege, Steve Sarkisian, who sent it in Brandon Hance. So he's got his old quarterback, or one of his old quarterbacks, signaled in the plays to a trio of young quarterbacks, a sophomore, a junior, and a true freshman. He's got a loaded stable to work with. That's hard to give up. You know, you got guys that are playing as well as their quarterbacks are right now.
If you were a quarterback, you'd want to play for Norm Chow.
Yeah, that's Phil Rivers swears by him, and so do the guys that were at BYU. Well, while we have a quick break, a lot going on down in Ole Miss. Let's check in with John again.
One last chance for Eli Manning. 4th and 10, drops back to pass, trips over his own player, and that's how it ends. They turn the ball over on down. There's still time on the clock, but 17-14, LSU with the ball.
That would be terrible if that would be his last play in that stadium, wouldn't it?
Sad way to end at home for Eli, huh?
Yep. Hands back to throw to Gunther, his tight end, and he's rumbling down the middle. He's got a first down. 16-yard pickup. Brandon Chiller riding him down. I mean riding him. He had to go with the big 6'8" tight end. That's his 4th catch for Gunther.
Gunther's playing because the 2 other tight ends, Alex Holmes and Bird, were both injured during the year, and they'll be back next year. So this offense is going to be loaded again.
Probably more depth on the offensive side of the ball than there is on the defense, and I'm sure that's something Pete will work on recruiting-wise, or already is working on, I should say. Here's the freshman White. They're stocked in the backfield too. We mentioned it before. When you've got, they don't even have a senior guy back there, and this kid's going to be something. A freshman out of suburbs of Denver, and our Corey Taylor, who's normally with us. We miss her, and she's part of our crew, and Corey couldn't be with us today, and she's probably watching back in the Denver area, and we wish her the best, and she's feeling fine, we understand.
We miss you, Corey.
We miss you, Corey. We'll see you next week in Atlanta. At the 18-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Here comes a full blitz on Hance. He throws it. And did Whitney Lewis catch it? He says he did. The officials say no. So it's incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down. Pete's just his 3rd year. He's going to be 27-9 when this one's over, and he started 2-5. So, you know, we talked about where he began and what he went through, and he was in the college ranks for a while, but then defensive backs in the NFL with Buffalo and Minnesota, and then on as defensive coordinator with the Jets, the head coach there for 1 season. Defensive coordinator of San Francisco when they led the NFL in defense, then the head coach at New England, where he had a couple of good seasons.
16 years in the NFL. He was twice a head coach in the NFL, and didn't work out for him.
Hance Oh, boy, he set some smoke on that one. Incomplete for Jason Mitchell.
But you know, the thing that Pete Carroll has done, he's learned from everybody. And the thing that he's brought here is, he says, the 49ers were the most impressive. He's brought that system and the organizational style here to USC. He's brought that here with Bill Walsh and what he learned up there. And that's the way he's running this program. It's discipline, it's a few penalties, it's respect, and it's just very impressive to walk around here and not see anybody hot dogging and showboating and that. Just everything seems
to the end zone. With 7:33 remaining in the ball game. It'll be UCLA now that'll take over as they hold defensively. They'll have the ball when we come back.
All new season.
You have a guy who had a tremendous temper. He was going to come after you.
Of world premieres.
Barry was a walking highlight.
Why didn't you want to break that record? I don't know.
Brand new shows.
Only in America could a Don King happen.
The award-winning.
I got excited.
Yes, sir.
Because he told me not to.
Sports Century, 8 p.m. weeknights, only on ESPN Classic.
How's the offensive line coming?
Well, it's going to take some time. Oh, I'm up.
It's only the only issue.
Had a lot of guys graduate, right? So they got holes to fill, and this is the SEC. I mean, everybody's got talent. You know, it's just.
When College Game Day's on campus, you got to step it up.
Anyway, I think the SEC.
ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, 10:30 Saturday mornings on ESPN.
Guys, need a little more stuff from you. Come on. Need a little more, a little action. Guys. Touchdown Irish.
ABC Sports, Saturdays, the home of college football.
Touchdowns today. The offense for USC has 3. The defense, led by the 2 defensive linemen, have 1. And Reggie Bush has a 96-yard kickoff return. That's how you mix it up.
Defense has 2.
Defense has 2 defensive linemen, Patterson and Udeze.
There you go.
Olsen's gone the whole way, back to throw, and completes it over the middle. Ryan Smith to about the 30-yard line. High above the Goodyear blimp, Spirit of America has been providing us our aerial pictures. 2003 is the 105th anniversary of Goodyear and the 78th for the blimp fleets. Fabian Ochoa is our camera person up there, and there's a shot of 92,000 on a perfect day for football. Shadows over the field itself now. And the shadows have been falling on UCLA all day, but this kid has not given up. Maurice Drew, boy, do I like him. And he runs out. LSU has beaten Ole Miss 17-14, as you see on your screen. So Eli Manning's dream is apparently over as far as an SEC championship, and Coach Saban and LSU are still in the thick of things.
What a great job he's done down there at LSU, turning that program around.
15-yard penalty.
15-yard personal foul, and it was a face mask on Colin Ashton. You know, the speculation, you talk about coaching things and where people might end up, and everybody expects now that Pete Carroll has done such a great job that the National Football League will again be interested in him. He's been a head coach twice there, and he's come in and put this program, a reclamation project for the ages, really, and how quickly in 3 years it's become a national power again and restored the pride of the University of Southern California. And, you know, we talked to him about that, and he said, you know, I love the NFL. I was in there a long, long time. And I'm sure he didn't say I'll never say never, but he said you have so much more control as a college coach and so many factors that aren't involved that there are in the NFL. And he said, I'm just having so much fun, running the whole ship here. I can do all the things I want to do. I can try all the things I want to try. So right now he's having a blast being the head coach of the Trojans.
Well, he's a high energy guy, a lot of enthusiasm, and he's going to have fun, and he wants to have discipline and all this other stuff, but he's going to have fun, and that's part of the difficulty on the other sideline with Carl Durrell. Everybody sees Carroll having so much fun and winning all the other stuff, and they see Carl on the other side, and they say, why aren't you like Pete? Well, everybody's got to be their own person.
That's right.
And guys, Pete has done a great job, if you look at Carl Durrell, of inviting former SC Trojans to come back and enjoy that with him. I think when you give Carl time, he is going to do the same thing, engage the alumni, try and bring the spirit back and some confidence back into his program so he can achieve the same thing. And he has to do it being himself. He doesn't have Pete Carroll's same enthusiasm. He is quiet, but that's just his personality.
Intercepted by Marcel Allman. And so the defensive backs get in the act. They're tired of having those defensive linemen get all the love today. So Marcel, who caused a fumble earlier, has an interception now, and that's the 4th turnover. And now you see Pete kind of smiling and taking off the headset. He knows full well, and there's Mike Patterson, the guy he told us to watch, and he was right. Mike took one on a fumble recovery for a touchdown today. Here's another look, trying to get it out to Craig Bragg.
That defensive line will all be back next year, so he's happy about that. But take a look at Allman, number 8, goes up, takes the ball away from Bragg.
Bragg made a great adjustment on the ball and had his hands on it.
Looked like he may have come down with it, but took it away from him.
Herschel Dennis gets out. Nice run out to the 10. Brandon Chiller has been playing tough defense today. He helps out on the tackle.
There's Rose Bowl reps. The representatives. The last 8 or 9 years, it's been a different team almost every year. I think 7 of the last 9 years, there's been a different team in the Rose Bowl. Oregon right here went to the Fiesta Bowl, but qualified for the Rose Bowl. But I think the Rose Bowl this year is going to be very happy to get Michigan back out, and then probably if Washington State, if USC goes to the championship game, I think Washington State and Michigan's going to be that Big Ten, Pac-10 Rose Bowl game again this year.
Rose Bowl has been waiting to get their normal representatives back for a long time, it seems like.
Well, they haven't had the Big Ten, Pac-10 matchup in the last 2 years.
That's one of the things, guys, that coming into this ball game and all of the BCS formulas and what would happen, that Pete Carroll and all the players and coaches here at USC have always said, what a great game to play in the Rose Bowl. Says, we don't see any downside to this.
Yeah.
If we're ranked number 2 and we go to the Sugar Bowl and there are Sugar Bowl representatives on their sideline now, that's wonderful. But if we don't get the number 2 ranking and we go to the Rose Bowl, hey, we have nothing to complain about. It's a great place to play football.
That was a perfect approach to take, and then they, of course, knew by game time today that it was for even more, but that's what they were going to hang their hat on if it had gone the other way and Ohio State had beaten Michigan. Of course, that didn't happen today. Michigan, a big winner over the Buckeyes. Hance first down and hands off to Bush. And Reggie goes for about 4. The only blemish on USC's record all season long was for the Bears of Cal. That field goal by Ryan Colleen tied the score. Then a 20-yard touchdown pass put Cal up. Gary Colbert answers with a 10-yard catch to send it to a 3rd overtime. And then Cal's Tyler Frederickson hits a 38-yard field goal to win it. And we talked with Pete about that. He said we put ourselves in too big a hole and we just couldn't dig ourselves out. Otherwise, they'd be undefeated. As we speak right now, they'd be a perfect 10. As it is, they're going to be 10-1. And really, that loss is not going to hurt them unless Oregon State trips them up in 2 weeks, because they're 4 minutes and a half and one more ball game away from not even mattering about that loss to Cal, because they're going to get their chance to play for all the marbles, it appears. But they still got one more ball game left.
The big winner today is USC with the loss by Ohio State. if they take care of business, they're taking care of it today, and then 2 weeks from now, they jump to the championship game. The big loser today seems to be Ohio State, who was in the championship game in New Orleans. They dropped past the Rose Bowl. Michigan goes to the Rose Bowl now, and they drop to some other January 1 bowl game.
Mike Williams was the big star early in this ball game. He hasn't even had to play in the second half, so he could take a rest. And most of the rest of the starters getting a rest right now too, and that's a nice luxury, except they had those 2 injuries on the offensive line, and that's not going to be easy for them to replace. You have to wait till the last couple games. Sometimes you have to wait till the last day to figure out who's going to play who.
These are the matchups, the last 5 national championship BCS games, and this is when they were decided. Florida State and Tennessee wasn't decided until the last day. Last year, Miami and Ohio State, they had 3 games to go before they were 1 and 2, but 2 of the last 5 years, it hasn't been until the last day that matchup has been settled.
Whoa! Now we know why he's got a big leg. Malone, except he outkicked his coverage, and now he's the only guy home. And he didn't make the tackle there, and Craig Bragg is on the way, but he's tripped up at the 25. There's a flag way back where Craig fielded that, however. Colin Ashton's kind of limping around. He might have been the guy that...
How long was this kick?
He hit it a mile.
60 yards.
Seemed like 80 when he hit it.
But you're right, he did outkick his coverage, and then he's got to make the tackle right there and missed it.
Illegal block
in the back.
Bringing it all back. With 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining. UCLA will have the ball, trailing 47-15 when we come back. Nice kick, Tom.
Intimidated? Leave it in the trunk of your car with your tennis shoes. Worried? Come on. They make an oversized driver with a huge sweet spot, especially for this occasion. Afraid of the water? Ball's not. After all, you've done this 101 times in your head. Just make this number 102.
Catch Rich Beam and the PGA Tour's best this season on ABC.
Just like America, hockey's become great through the contributions of immigrants. And here at the factory, we follow that example. Wally here's from Finland. Sergey's Russian. That's Kembo. We're not sure where he's from. The point is even though we're all from different cultures, we all speak hockey and English, mostly.
The NHL on ESPN. Made in America, delivered on Thursdays.
They're saying just what I've been saying for years. High school ballers just aren't prepared for the NBA. That's funny. They're saying the Dolphins secondary is unstoppable. I was just saying the same thing. What the?
$93,172 saw it today. Not all of them are still here because they knew early that USC was on its way to its 10th win. And we've just got 2 minutes, 48 seconds remaining as UCLA comes back out. This will be the first time in the history of this series that dates back to 1929 that the Trojans have won 5 straight in the series. Maurice Drew goes down after a short game. We didn't do Who's Hot today, did we, Bob? Oh, there you go.
Well, I tell you, this is one of the most popular things we do in the truck coming up to this. And got all these teams. Michigan's hot, they're on a roll. UConn, they've won a lot of ball games. South Florida, USC, LSU, and my Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep, for their upset win over the Chiefs last week. Olsen gets the bat swatted down by Emmanuel Wright. Who's not hot then?
Well, we got a lot of teams that aren't hot. The BCS computers are not too hot.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, they had that one loss. We saved my Miami Dolphins record from 72. So
Virginia's in there, but they did beat Georgia Tech today.
They won today. Yeah. Nebraska, Virginia Tech.
Miami had a tough time getting going today. They finally got on track to go to their win.
Washington's had a tough year where they were supposed to be a pretty good football team and have struggled. Arizona State also in that mode.
They're down at 10. Long and complete. Ryan Smith's got it. And he's got a first down. Thanksgiving Friday. What you want to do is probably warm up some of those leftovers and join ABC Sports for a great college football doubleheader. Action kicks off at 9 a.m. Pacific. Number 22 Nebraska will battle Colorado. Then at 12:30 Pacific, that's actually when I do the leftovers. I probably have breakfast first. You got your Lone Star State rivals, number 5 Texas and Texas A&M. That's Friday right here on ABC Sports. And the 3 of us in our crew will be in Atlanta next week for Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia will move up a little bit in the BCS with a win over Kentucky today. And try to make their bowl positioning better and try to get to the SEC championship game in Atlanta, which apparently looks like it's going to be LSU against either Georgia, Florida, or Tennessee. Olsen throws complete to his tight end, Lane Kazarian, and Kazarian's down about the 47, pick up the 12. We're down under a couple of minutes.
Well, I've been impressed with USC. I think they're definitely strong enough to be in the championship game. Like I said, we've seen Ohio State, we've seen Oklahoma, we've seen some of the other ones, and I think USC is definitely one of the 2 best teams in the country.
Well, it's been a homecoming for at least 2 guys on our crew, as Lynn Swan has come back to where he starred. Steve Bime, our director, has come back to where he starred. And so these guys got to come back to their alma mater. And at least they didn't wear it. In fact, Swanee had a blue rental car this week, which I thought was a little bit strange. I thought he'd get a red one, but he had a kind of a UCLA blue-looking car.
It was a strange car.
It was a strange car. I thought he was going to kill us in that thing a couple of times this week. Incomplete pass. Mercedes Lewis.
I got the blue car so that I could, be incognito if I went over to UCLA. And being a professional, I didn't want people to think that because I graduated from USC, was a team captain, an All-American, couple of Rose Bowls, national championship, that I would be biased in any way. So I didn't wear any cardinal and gold. I dressed in blue.
He's in every Hall of Fame in the world except the one right here.
Brad,
I don't get that.
Were you a captain and an All-American?
Yeah, I was a captain of my football team, but I wasn't an All-American.
Okay.
No. Incomplete pass.
No, guys, it's kind of interesting. And Bob, you and I talked about this a little bit by the trucks before the game started. Now, we're professionals, we're covering a game, and we're going to do a good job. But when you play for a program like a USC or Purdue or Michigan, and you play that rivalry game, I don't care who you are, and I don't care what your job is, it stays with you. This morning, there was a little knot in my stomach wondering whether or not Michigan would beat Ohio State. And no matter what you do, you can't get away from that feeling because so much of your life is in that program and in that school.
Well, there's a truthful thing spoken by Lynn Swan. Long ball caught down inside the 5. Nice grab by Moss.
Good throw.
Perfect throw. So UCLA not done trying. 45-yard toss. I give Drew some credit now today. The sophomore out of Piedmont, California, has hung in there and has kept on throwing it.
And Moss is a young guy. He's a freshman also. A lot of talented young people on this UCLA team. The sad part about it is the defensive line for UCLA. The Ball brothers, Leslie, fifth-year senior, Boschetti. The defensive line will leave here not having beaten USC.
And there's a touchdown throw to Cohen. So Drew Olson not quitting. 2 touchdown tosses, and he says, let's go for 2. It's not going to matter, but they're hanging right in there. And it's a career high day for Drew Olson. Before that throw, he had 264 yards, so you can add about, 4 more on the touchdown, I guess. He's got 266 through the air and 2 touchdowns on 39 throws, 21 completions. Good for him to hang in there and keep on fighting. Extra point by Medlock is up and good. So Drew Olson has been knocked down, knocked around, sacked, has fumbled a couple of times that turned into touchdowns. But he hangs in there and he keeps on playing hard, and it pays off for him. So he's still got some matchups against USC coming down the road. Our Chevrolet players of the game today. Maurice Drew, the freshman, kickoff return for a touchdown. He, much like Drew Olson, drew every bit of energy they could to try to close the gap. Mike Williams had the unbelievable first half as he ended up with 181 yards on 11 catches and 2 touchdowns. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
You know what I look forward to seeing, if it all works out, is Norm Chow and this USC offense
against Stoops,
against Bob Stoops and Oklahoma's defense.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That would be a good one. And it looks like it's headed that way.
It's headed in that direction, but as we said, there's a couple more weekends of football left to play.
And USC's got its good hands team up close, anticipating an onside kick with a minute remaining. Last time Medlock kind of kicked a high pooch kick over to the near side. This time he's going to pretty much have to put it on the ground. No, he won't. He's going to do the same thing. But Reggie Bush is right where he kicked it. That's perfect positioning by Reggie. And now he takes a knee. There's a smart move by a freshman. Don't cough the ball up. We don't need to do anything.
He's been coached well.
So SC's just got one more game. USC with Oregon State left. You'll see it on ABC.
Their strength of schedule hurt them last week against, but Auburn was supposed to be good, and they haven't turned out so well. Arizona was supposed to be good. Notre Dame thought they were going to be good. So there's been some teams on that list that were supposed to have good records this year that have not been as good as advertised.
Yep.
And because of that, their strength of schedule has not been as good.
So now USC just has to wear down the last minute here. They give it off to Woodard. He got the corner. And I tell you what, guys want to play. When they don't get much chance, you definitely want to come in and do anything you can. And
what's all that ice over there?
I think he had to run right through what they just dumped on Pete Carroll.
What's all this over here, huh? Did Pete get wet?
I think Pete's wet. His hair's a little grayer than it used to be, but he's a young 52, and he's a soggy 52 right now. But a happy one nonetheless. He's going to be perfect against UCLA. Got his first win, first shutout actually as a coach a couple of years ago in this series, 27-0. Then they won 52-21 last year, and it's almost the same exact score, 47-22 this time around. And the score almost not indicative. It's indicative, I guess, in that UCLA never gave up. They kept on fighting, I should say, right down to the very end, including that last touchdown pass and the kickoff return. But other than that, it was a pretty lopsided victory for USC. And we're down to the final half minute. So the Trojans go to 10-1, and UCLA will fall to 6-6. Even with that 6-6 record for Carl Durrell, and people are going to say, well, he was only 500, but 6 wins is pretty good in your first year, and only Tommy Prothro and Terry Donahue have ever won more in the first year as head coach.
String of 5 games in a row where he won in the middle of the season.
That's right. So big win for USC, 47-22. There's one of the heroes, Matt Leinart, the quarterback. There's the 2 coaches. The state championship, the city championship, I should say, goes to USC for a 5th straight year. And that's something they've never done before. There's a good player, really good player. Let's go down to Swanee.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Your offense hangs 47 on the scoreboard. Was there anything about this game that you didn't like that was a negative?
Oh, we never like them to end like that where they get a couple scores at the end, but it was a beautiful day. It was a great day here in the Coliseum, 93,000, and when we kick butt, you know, crosstown thing. It's awesome. It was a great day for our seniors to get a win like this. You know, they haven't lost to these guys, so that's really a big deal to them.
You're in control of your own destiny. You got a bye coming up before Oregon State. The bye comes at a pretty good time for you.
Yeah, we'll take advantage of the bye. It's, you know, Thanksgiving's coming up. Kids will get a chance to go home and all that. It ain't over yet. You know, our work isn't done. We're still moving on, and we'll take that attitude into this next game, and we really look forward to it. It's great to be coming back to the Coliseum. We love playing here.
First chance that our crew had the chance to see your team play. how do you assess today's performance with the games they played earlier in this year?
Well, I think the first half, you saw us, second half we didn't do very well, but the first half is what we're all about. It's the way we click, and it was great to see the passing game be so sharp and the protections and Matty Leinart hitting Mike Williams like he does. That's great stuff.
Coach, congratulations.
Thanks
we'll
very
see
much,
you later
Great
on.
seeing you.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, brought to you by Mentos, the Fresh Maker. Cast your vote for the Mentos Game Maker Moment of the Week at ESPN.com. Keyword Mentos. By Pioneer Plasma Displays, taking high-definition television to a whole new level. And by Seiko. You can tell more about a person by the watch they wear than anything else. Seiko Artura Kinetic.
Where does reality end and pure vision begin? A Pioneer plasma display can deliver more than 1 billion colors, taking high-definition television to a whole new level. Pure vision. Only from Pioneer.
It's not your job.
It's not your accent.
It's not your clothes. It's not your car.
It's not your lipstick.
It's not your friends. It's not your shoes.
It's not your laugh. It's not your hair.
It's your watch.
You can tell more about a person by the watch they wear than anything else. Seiko Kinetic, powered by the movement of your body.
Pontiac presents ESPN's Rivalry Week.
They are revved up and ready for the rivalry circa 2003 to kick off. As with every crowd that's ever gathered for an Alabama-Auburn game, the fans that have filled Jordan-Hare Stadium are not only a big part of the story unfolding here tonight, they're a part of history. For more than a century, Southern skies have watched as the line has grown. Year by year, step by step, connecting two schools and the generations with a bond of battles fully engaged. And by participating with passion in tradition are lasting memories made.
Auburn trying to go after it. Here's a snap. They got it. Block kick. Touchdown.
The kick. It is in the air.
Whether you are fated for awards or fame in the future, this is the game you will remember. This is the game that you will carry forever as a cherished moment of glory or a nagging reminder of what might have been. For this is a game played for pride, inspired by echoes of bygone battle cries. A game where legends can be born or reaffirmed. As it has been for Tides and Tigers 67 times before. For Alabama and Auburn 2003, this is the game. And out of the South Tunnel, here come the Auburn Tigers. And out of the North Tunnel, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Welcome to ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Pontiac, celebrating 20 years of college football. Tonight, the Alabama Crimson Tide takes on the Auburn Tigers. All season, ESPN Saturday Night College Football will be broadcast in high definition, presented by Phillips and Best Buy. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried, and welcome to the Iron Bowl. There are none that are more exciting than this, regardless of the records. We need to start off by saying this has been a week of distractions here in Auburn because of rumors and innuendo that the head coach, Tommy Tuberville, might be losing his job after this game tonight. As we progress in the ball game this evening, Mike will talk more about that. Mike, as far as these two teams are concerned, they want to do the same thing. They both want to run the football, yet you think the two guys under center are the most important fellas in this contest tonight.
Ron, I really do. I think both these teams are going to come out and try to run the football. Williams and Carnell is both going to get a chance to run the football, but both quarterbacks, the team that protects the quarterback the best, and the quarterback for whichever team hits the big play has the best chance to win this game. It's going to come down to the quarterbacks.
The two head coaches in this one tonight, the gentleman in question, Tommy Tuberville, 5th season here in Auburn, Alabama, and across the way from him, brand new member in the SEC, Mike Shula, in his first season, 15 seasons as an NFL assistant coach. Well, Alabama leads the series. The away team has won the last 4 meetings. And last year in Tuscaloosa, Auburn defeated number 9 Alabama by a 10-point margin, 17-7. Alabama won the toss. They deferred. Auburn will receive and be on offense first this evening. Kyle Robinson tees the ball. You look at Carnell Williams, one of the deep men, along with Arumashadu, one of the wide receivers, number 1. And the Iron Bowl for 2003 set to go.
Ron, Alabama will try to pin Auburn in the short side of the field, but I think Auburn's going to try to bring it back to the field.
Here comes the kick, and they kick it to the far right side, and Carnell Cadillac Williams will take a knee. So it gives us an opportunity to introduce the starters. And, of course, Jason Campbell, the junior out of Taylorsville, Mississippi. A lot of pressure on this young man because everybody's been saying, we'll stop your run. Jason, you got to beat us passing.
And that's exactly the game plan tonight. He's been criticized heavily here at Auburn, but Jason Campbell can play this quarterback position and can throw the ball very well.
Crowd of over 86,000 jam-packed into the stadium. Great anticipation, as always, for the Iron Bowl. From an I formation, Williams, 5, breaks it out, has 10, he's loose. At midfield, Cadillac, at the 20, a touchdown, touchdown Auburn, 80 yards. John Vaughn to attempt the extra point. He's got it. Mike Gottfried. A wow is not even the proper exclamation point to put on this one. What a way to open a rivalry like this.
A great call, Ron, because they ran a draw on first down. You watch, they go set the draw up. Alabama really rushes upfield. Carnell Williams breaks the outside. And you think about the embattled coach and the players wanting to get out in this field to play for their coach. They made a statement on first play.
Mike, let's give credit to a number of people, but Monrico Crittenden threw a key block to help springing. Carnell Williams. And here's the really interesting part of the story on him. When you look at scoring this season, big article in the paper, the Birmingham paper yesterday. Carnell grew up wanting to go to play for the Crimson Tide. As it turned out, he came here to visit. His family really liked Auburn, but he had committed to Tennessee. He winds up here on the Plains. And there are about 86,000, maybe minus a few Alabama fans who are really pleased that he did make that decision. Yost to kick it off. What a beginning to our ball game. Two yards deep. Brooks. And Brooks will be shoved out of bounds just across the 20-yard line. So the starters offensively, Brody Croyle, sophomore out of Rainbow City. This, to me, one of the gutsiest performers, not just in this conference, but in college football. Partially separated a shoulder in game one. It has continued to happen, and here we are in the final regular season game.
And Ron, LSU blitzed him, and you're going to see Auburn blitz him every chance they get. It's up to the offensive line whether they'll give him time enough to throw the football.
His final regular season game in the Southeastern Conference. Of course, they play Hawaii next week. Here's Sean Williams. He says, I have an answer. Takes it out across the 30. That's going to be a gain of about 13 yards on the play. Here are the starters on offense for Alabama. Williams, Tim Castile, the fullback. Clark, the tight end. Bolton and Triundus Luke, the wide receivers. Up front for the offensive line, Justin Smiley, probably the best athlete up there. Dennis Alexander, a senior out of Memphis. He is a team co-captain. Luke in motion. And they go back to Williams. Bounces it to the outside behind blockers Alexander and Mathis. Carlos Dansby is there to make the tackle. Which gives us an opportunity to give you the defensive starters for Auburn. Edens, McNeil, Spencer Johnson, and Reggie Torbor. Torbor can really bring it on the pass rush. The linebackers, Williams, Thomas, and Dansby. And actually, it all starts with Dansby. He is the #1 headhunter in that defense. Hobbs, a walk-on, and Carlos Rogers at the corners. Herring and Rosegreen are the safeties. Second down, Bama. Sean Williams, nothing to the right. He takes it to the left, close to the first down, up around the 42.5-yard line. Dansby and Thomas combined.
Well, Dave Rader, the offensive coordinator, is going to try to protect Brody Croyle in the passing game by running the football. And then once you get the run going, then the pass follows. I like this plan by Mike Shula and Dave Rader.
One of the things that Dave Rader told us in our phone conversation with him on Wednesday was that Alabama needed desperately to have something good to happen to them early. Well, it is Auburn who made something good happen for themselves. Sean Williams, 3 carries, 23 yards. Gets it again. Nothing to the right. Tries to spin off, and he's not going to have the first down. Junior Rosegreen is there, and Dansby is the man with the pressure that really upended the play.
Yeah, Junior Rosegreen benefited from Dansby getting in there because all of a sudden it spilled out to Dansby. Now Alabama's got to punt the football here in the football game. Last week, Ron, when we watched the punters from Alabama, Brian Bostic, a little slow getting it off last week. If I'm Auburn's, not on this play because too close to the 50-yard line, but I go after his punts tonight.
Bo Freeland gets the boot away. This is a high tail wagger. Good coverage kick at the 4. It's going to take an Alabama halt, and it's going to be touched dead at the 1-yard line. Thurman Ward is the man who comes underneath that 57-yard punt as Bo Jackson walks along the sidelines.
Miller, we brew great tasting beer because you can get in line and take what they give you, or you can make your own choice. Miller, good call.
I'm gonna wrap myself in paper, I'm gonna dab myself with glue, stick some stamps on the top of my head, I'm gonna mail myself to you. Oh, I'm gonna tie me in a little red string, I'm gonna tie blue ribbons too, climb up into my mailbox and I'm gonna mail myself.
This holiday season, no one will work harder or go farther to keep us all connected.
Now Mentos has 70% more, and they come in a box. Go Box!
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Because having the right car or truck makes all the difference. Sweetheart, your honey-do list just got a little bit longer. Sorry.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
7-0 Auburn on top on the strength of a Carnell Cadillac Williams 80-yard run on the first play from scrimmage. Now Auburn takes the ball over at the 1.5-yard line. And we'll get to the remainder of the starters on offense. We got to talk about Campbell and Williams, and then came the touchdown. Williams hit behind the line of scrimmage. There's the safety, Anthony Bryant. So, Mike, we're still not going to be able to introduce the Auburn offense.
Ron, a great job by Anthony Bryant getting penetration and getting in the backfield to tackle Carnell Williams for the safety. Now get good field position. You'll see he slanted and beat the block of the center, I believe, Danny Lindsay.
Well,
no place to go for Carnell.
Give credit to special teams. They get those 2 points right there.
Brian Bostic with a great punt. Bo Freeland, I'm sorry, Bo Freeland.
Boy, he knocked it dead at the 1.5-yard line. And then on the very first play, Bryant gets the penetration. You see the reaction from his defensive teammates. And all of a sudden, that grabs momentum away from the Auburn Tigers as Bama will get the football back. And it is now 7-2.
Big punt. Now you get good field position if you're Alabama.
So they're not going to punt this one. Philip Yost is going to put it on a tee and kick it away. And Prothro, along with Brandon Brooks, are the two deep men we have seen a lot, Michael, of Prothro in the latter part of this season. They really look to him now as a go-to guy because he's such a game breaker. Here's Yost's kick. He's going to kick this one out of bounds. Ron Franklin, Mike Godfrey to Adrian Karsten coming to you from a jam-packed house here in Auburn, Alabama. The 68th meeting between these two clubs. And you know, with the penalty here, Mike, this is going to give them a scrimmage from the 50-yard line.
Oh, great field position.
Bama will put the ball in play at the 50-yard line, first down.
This might be a good time to take a shot if you're Alabama. You ran the ball very successfully 3-4 times. Now play action pass.
Ray Hudson comes into the lineup, the junior out of Bonifay, Florida, replacing Shad Williams at tailback. Luke in motion, play action, looking, still looking, and going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Torborg. And I have a feeling the way he was looking for a stop and go, and maybe the receiver ran a wrong route.
Yeah, Ron, I thought it was a good time for the deep ball. You go after him right there, and I believe you're right. I think it was a broken pattern, and Brody Croyle did the wise thing and didn't throw it for an interception. Ray Hudson coming into the ball game. I think he was injured on that last play. Ray Hudson.
Kenneth Darby has now come into the lineup. Number 34, the redshirt freshman out of Huntsville Butler. Good look at Kenneth. They pitch it back to him. Good pursuit, but the Auburn defense going to be stacked at the line of scrimmage. Will Herring, redshirt freshman out of Opelika. There's Hudson on the far sideline. Came in for one play. Had been suspended for last week's ball game. Had only one play in this Iron Bowl game. And he is on the bench being checked over by the trainers.
Yeah, Darby's only had 33 carries this entire year. Inexperienced.
Shad Williams checks back into the lineup at tailback. Third down, line to make is the 40. You show Auburn with blitz, and here they come. They pick it up, going to go on top, near sideline, and just a little too long for Fletcher.